Milky Way galaxy. 20 years after the destruction of the Reaper threat. The collateral damage was devastating. Mass relays were lost. The Citadel in disrepair. Most of Earth's population was wiped out. The stranded fleets of various galactic alien races were forced to settle there. And over time, Earth became a multicultural, multi-species world. The Citadel was repaired, made bigger than ever, spanning the globe. Citadel Prime, and Earth at its core, became the center of a new, stronger galactic council. The Earth Systems Alliance joined the council as an arm of its military, just as the Turians had long ago. And today, the galaxy finally has a bit of optimism. Things are coming together. The relays are being fixed. The worlds are being reconnected. And the species of the galaxy are cooperating in ways that they perhaps never had prior to the tragedy 2 decades ago. And it is here on Citadel Prime that we find a Spectre, Aryn Talea, called upon by the Council to receive an important mission. One that is top secret and on a need-to-know basis. So as you arrive here in Citadel Prime, Aryn, you do not know what you have been called here to do. Not yet. Only that you are to report to the council chambers and hear it right from them.
Well, will I be permitted to take Kronk with me to the briefing?
Yes. So you arrive with your companion, Urdnot Kronk, and you will be permitted to bring him with you. Absolutely.
So yeah, as soon as we're off our whatever ship brought us here, Aryn will make a point of just making straight for the council, wasting no time.
Understood.
Yeah. In this case, then Kronk will be, a few steps behind her, just, shadow, muscle.
All right. So yeah, as you're traveling through Citadel Prime, making your way down the hallways, taking a couple very long elevator rides. I mean, real long. Like the one thing that they have improved upon, you thought the Citadel's elevator rides were long. You're not ready for a Citadel Prime elevator ride. Look at how big this thing is.
It gives us time to have awkward conversations.
You and Kronk are in an elevator for like minimum 15 minutes at one point. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm not sure which. I'm not sure what's longer. Waiting for the first fire at the start of a battle, or this elevator.
So, how do you feel about your species nearly going extinct? Just those awkward elevator conversations.
Somebody's bad at small talk.
That's a bummer, right?
Are you sure you're a charisma caster?
Eventually, after long last, and more than a few odd looks at Kronk, because you don't see that many Krogans around nowadays. A lot of them died during the Reaper War, and it's pretty hard for them to make more. But eventually you arrive at the new and improved Council Chamber. This chamber is pretty spacious. It has a three-dimensional hologram of the galaxy in the center, and around the outskirts you see various people who are not members of the council, but have nonetheless been called upon to basically play audience to this meeting, to be part of the briefing. Among these that you see who have been invited to this meeting, and these individuals, you would be seated on the very like outermost rim of this room, not like where you could actually be part of the conversation. It's more like you're just going to be an audience to this. But you would see Lucille, Shepard, David Moreau, and Arturo Bernardi. So the three high-ranking members of the SSV Saratoga, captain, pilot, and security tactics officer, and a few faces you don't recognize at all, Aryn. You see a Turian, you would guess soldier from his outfit. He looks a little bit put off. He's kind of sulking over in one side, and then also a Quarian who kind of younger, definitely not like a someone of high-ranking status or whatever, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, but Rela is on the younger side, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like no older than Tully was in the first Mass Effect game.
Yeah. And so that would be pretty much it. And other than that, you have the 5 counselors who are here to talk with you. And by here to talk with you, I mean their holograms are, because they're not going to take the fucking elevator ride. They got better shit to do than that. Come on. So yeah, you've got 5 counselors here to meet with you. One representing, of course, the Asari, the humanity, Turians, Solarians, and more recent development over the last 5 or so years, a Quarian counselor, on account of the fact that the Quarian people were the ones who have been doing most of fixing the relays. They kind of solved the problem.
And Aryn would lean over to Kronk and just kind of mutter, like, "What do you think this is all about?"
Well, they're clearly here to see you. I'm just here to be pretty.
There is indeed a circle of white light for you to step into to kind of be on sort of a pedestal so you can talk to the council from there. There's only room for one person. The implication does seem to be that Kronk would kind of join the audience stands.
All right, and then in that case, Aryn would stand up straight and walk into the circle, which you assume is the projector of her hologram back to the counselors.
That is precisely correct. As you step into it, your hologram appears on their end. Yep. And as soon as you step in, right away they speak. The Asari counselor, she says, "Thank you so much for coming on such short notice."
My pleasure, counselor. What's going on?
We have a new assignment for you. Understand that this information is highly classified, as we do not want to start a panic. Please use great discretion. We don't want these events to be blown out of proportion or for rumors to spread.
And I'll nod. Of course. How can I serve the council?
And as I'm speaking, the counselors are kind of taking turns talking. I don't want to waste too much time with the Solarian said this and the human said this. It's just kind of like every other sentence is like a different person, right?
As each new one talks, my head turns slowly so I don't give myself whiplash.
Yeah. As you know, the mass relay reconstruction effort is proceeding smoothly, or it was. At present, almost all of Council and Alliance-controlled space has been reconnected, and many mass relays have even been repaired in the Terminus systems and the Attican Traverse. One such relay is the topic of our grim and unsettling news, I'm afraid. Are you familiar by chance with the Yomi Nebula?
Not intimately.
It's in the Traverse, on the edge of dark space, and it wouldn't be our concern at all if it were not for, human expansionism. And the human counselor says, we haven't settled anything on the side of dark space in at least 5 years. That's unnecessary. But anyway, they continue. The Solarian and the human get a little bit of they give each other's looks, but they continue. In any case, this system would be uninhabited if it were not for a human research facility, that a space station in the Tsukiyomi system in the nebula, designed to research dark space, if I understand. In any case, a development has occurred. And the council all goes kind of quiet, like this is something that none of them want to be the one to say it. Well, and eventually the Solarian speaks up. Solarian astronomers noticed something very strange and unsettling about the Yomi Nebula just recently, which caused us to delay the deployment of a repair team to the Yomi Relay. Well, quite frankly, they said that. And finally, the human counselor says, its star is missing.
I'm sorry, what?
Aaron kind of
Suddenly
glance.
realizes she spoke.
Yeah, Aaron would kind of glance in Shepard's direction and then back to the council.
So, Aryn, you can hear the rest of the party, and they can hear you, like you're in a room with them. But you notice when Shepard speaks, the council can't hear them because they're not on the projector like you are.
Ray immediately opens up her Omni tool and starts just doing crazy calculations, trying to figure out what the fuck they just said, basically.
How the fuck do you misplace a star?
Yeah. Lost a star the council has. How embarrassing.
Oh my god.
Get him out of here.
One of them waves their hand, and the galaxy map zooms in. It expands, it zooms, it enhances, if you will, until it is keyed in on a nebula right at the edge of dark space, and that nebula has a very notable dark spot in it. There's just like an empty area of darkness in the middle of it. We don't know if the star is being blocked by something, such that our astronomers cannot see it, or if it is gone, or if, well, we've already eliminated equipment fault. This has been corroborated by multiple independent sources. Something has happened. There is no light being emitted by the star if it is there. The result is that the Tsukiyomi system is completely dark and it cannot be observed. We can't even confirm that the planets are still there. We just can't see it.
And no light from nearby stars is filling the void.
It's too far removed. The Yomi Nebula is vast and mostly empty. Its systems are very far apart. Even back when there was relay travel to this area, not many people went there. As we said, it's uninhabited. The entire nebula, no one lives there except for this one research station in this one system.
What's the status of the nearest mass relay?
The closest mass relay is also in the Traverse, and it is secure. It is repaired and ready to send. Well, it already has sent someone there. The Turian counselor kind of takes over, and he says, and he's got like a kind of a big scar over his face. He looks like he probably was like ex-military, and he says, "We redirected a Turian vulture to investigate the problem. That was over 2 months ago. They took the mass relay to the system, and then we lost all contact with them. 2 months later, the vulture floated into Alliance-controlled space in the Traverse. No fuel, almost no power. One survivor. We found firearms all over the floors of the halls. Full mag clips. No sign of combat. The entire crew gone, save for one. And the counselor kind of looks around, even though he can't see the room you're in. He knows that like Juvius should be there, and he says, "Gavlin, please stand up."
Yes, sir. And he stands up kind of abruptly, almost stumbles.
This is the sole survivor of the Turian vulture we sent. Unfortunately, he hasn't been very helpful as a witness on account of the fact that another member of the crew locked him up during the incident. Also, a psych evaluation has indicated that he has some memory loss associated with PTSD. Nonetheless...
Juvius just kind of looks down like...
Yeah, it's a bit awkward. They're kind of talking about you like you're an asset. They definitely are not being very, like, respectful of your feelings at all here. Like,
Aaron's kind of glancing over at Juvius as all this is being said.
Yeah, he's just kind of talking about you like you're an object, like just coldly identifying what would be useful. Yeah. Anyway,
time.
he says, "I want you to take him with you on this. He might be useful. It's possible that witnessing whatever this is again could jog some memories."
Very well, I'll try to be delicate with him.
He's also a very capable Turian soldier, well-armed and well-trained.
For all the good that did his former crew.
The Turian counselor actually seems to take offense at that, and then before the Solarian interrupts and says, "Well, I'm sure that no matter which species had encountered this problem, no matter how well-trained or well-armed they were, that it was something beyond military matters to solve." And he kind of manages to like make the Turian counselor feel better with that. Like, in any case, we're sending you on a mission of investigation. You are not to engage with whatever you find. You need to uncover what's happening here and return with information.
And Aaron will nod and say, "Understood. Is there a mass relay on the opposite end?"
The counselors all kind of look at each other, and the Asari counselor says, "Yes, in the Sokiyomi system."
Not repaired, I take it.
Correct. And it's for that reason that we are going to be sending a Quarian with you. And the Quarian counselor speaks up. This is Rela Rannoch. She has a glowing resume, well ahead of her years, and should be an asset.
Ray does like an awkward half bow wave thing, like she doesn't know how to respond to the compliment from the counselor.
Aaron, give a nod just of acknowledgement.
The counselor says, I don't know her personally, since she is from the homeworld, and I've been here at Citadel Prime, but judging by her accolades alone, I'm sure she's brilliant.
We'll put her to good use.
So Ray,
Yeah.
give me like a deception check, just to.
Hey, that's what the mask is for, man.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's your poker face. All right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You have a mask on. I won't make you do the poker face check. Okay. In any case, you're welcome to bring anyone with you that you think would be an asset, but I'm afraid that your Spectre vessel doesn't have the range for this type of mission. That's why we're going to be handing you command of the SSV Saratoga. Shepard was not told of this beforehand.
Yeah, she kind of straightens up and looks around and leans over to Dave and goes, "And this is why Spectres are trouble."
You know, I knew this was bullshit the moment that they said just dock and didn't tell us fucking why. They're taking the car. They're grounding us, Shep. They're grounding us.
We're fine.
Lieutenant Lucille Shepard will become your first officer, and First Officer Junior Lieutenant Felix Ways will take the position of second officer on the ship during this mission.
Nods curtly to Aryn from where she's positioned.
Yeah, and Aryn would glance back over at her, and she wouldn't nod or anything, but her brow kind of furrows a little bit, like she's not sure how to address that. But yeah, she turns back to the council and says, "I trust the ship is capable of accomplishing this mission."
The human counselor speaks up. Absolutely. The SSV Saratoga is the peak of human engineering in an era without mass relays. It was designed to make incredibly long FTL journeys, the likes of which no other ship could. It's just that in the past decade or so, since the Quarian started fixing everything, this type of ship wasn't really needed anymore. Until now, it's extremely well suited to this mission.
I see. Then that will be quite useful then.
Do you have any further questions for the council before you depart?
So go there, investigate, find answers, get back. Seems very straightforward.
The Solarian says, your primary mission is to find out whether the star is missing or still there and being blocked somehow. In any case, please find out what has happened to it and why and who's doing it, and then return with such information alive. You do not need to engage any threats on the way. And then the Turian kind of like half interrupts him, because the Solarian doesn't stop talking until someone makes him stop talking.
Typical Solarian form.
The Turian is like, and if you can find out what happened to the crew of that vulture, my people would really appreciate it. I'm sure Juvius would too.
Ray is gonna kind of give a half wave to Aryn, like she's trying to get her attention.
Aryn will hold up, like, will notice, but like hold up a hand towards Ray for just like in a like, hold on just a moment.
Yeah, she bows her head, ashamed of herself.
Yeah, she'll say, if we do find survivors of the Turian crew or the human research station, should we effect rescue efforts if we can do so safely?
Absolutely. The SSV Saratoga is a pretty large vessel. It has an enormous cargo bay that's mostly empty, and it's manned with a skeleton crew. It's got more than enough supplies and space to take on refugees.
Aryn will nod, and now she'll look directly at Rela.
Ray. So Ray speaks out and she says, if an entire warship of Turians went missing, what makes them think that, and she kind of looks around the room, a crew of 7 very, very good soldiers could accomplish whatever it is they're trying to do?
Well, you certainly got something better than a crew of Turian warriors. We have a Krogan.
Juvius just kind of looks at him like, excuse me?
Arturo kind of just shrugs, like, I was going to say variety, but there's that.
Yeah, Aryn would see Ray's point and relay the question to the council. Like, well, why do we expect the Saratoga's fate to be any different than that of the Turian crew? What was their mission?
The Asari counselor answers. She says, we don't know what happened to this crew, but what we do know is that this was a military ship crewed with soldiers, and soldiers have a tendency to solve all of their problems in the very same way. As we mentioned, we are not asking you to engage whatever you find in combat. This is an information gathering mission. Your goal is to find out what happened and return alive. Furthermore, there is exactly one instance where I have heard of a crew being taken out like this before. I believe it is possible to do so with biotics. Turian military ship would have few or perhaps no biotically gifted individuals on board. If this was some type of mind control which forced them to disembark or give themselves up to their captors, it's possible that an Asari Spectre could be well equipped to protect her crew from something like that.
And Aryn would nod. I understand. I don't think I have any other questions.
And the Turian counselor actually pipes up unhelpfully, but he seems a little offended. He says, like, well, anyway, whatever did happen to them, it's clear they didn't lose a fair fight. no shots were fired, so whatever this thing is, it's playing dirty.
And Aryn nods and says, whatever it was, we'll bring justice to them. Or we'll bring them back.
Thank you. Do you have any further questions for the council?
And Aryn shakes her head. Nope. Ready and willing to deploy.
The council holograms disappear one by one until only the Turian one is left. And he says, if you can't find them alive, avenge them.
Aryn gives a firm nod.
Yeah, and then his hologram disappears, leaving you in the room, just you and your crew. This is not something where you have to disembark immediately. You're not like on the clock here, right? Like you could even leave tomorrow. You probably don't want to like mess around indefinitely, but you have time to like meet with them and talk and maybe even like get some supplies or whatever, check the ship out, etc. You're not in a hurry.
Gotcha. Yeah, as soon as the holograms go down, Aryn will like open up her Omni tool and like scroll through some data on the holonet or whatever things that she has like access to as a Spectre, and like bring up the file on Shepard.
Yeah, so
swipe through
actually this could be a good opportunity for player introductions. As Aryn looks up the dossier for each of you, do you guys want to take turns just very briefly saying like what might be in your dossier for the Spectre to look up about you?
She'd give a brief skim.
Yeah,
she's
not
going to stand there for like 30 minutes.
No. Like a brief cliff notes, like an introduction to your character.
Waiting for me to walk over and press A on each of them.
I will say for David, I wrote down a basic little information guide on his bio if you pull up his character sheet.
We'll just go through real quick though, because it's easier for everybody if it's just because it means like everyone gets to. So we'll start with Shepard. Like what when Aryn Googles you.
You don't want me to send you the link to the okay.
I already read yours, Shepard. Don't worry, I got you.
Okay.
So basic information for.
Go ahead.
Basic information for anybody who, for some reason, wanted to know what the heck was happening with a Shepard suddenly being alive again. All you would be able to find out was at 17, she enlisted in the Alliance military. 4 years, she ended up in N7 and made it through. Prior to that, there's no record of her. There's nothing.
Okay.
There was once or twice where she worked directly with Aryn. She went through basic with David Moreau. But otherwise, she looks unimpressive when you stand her next to her mother, but if you stood her next to her mother, the only thing that would give her away would be her eyes, which is why some people are a little startled when they see her the first time, because she looks like Commander Ivy Shepard. But that's the extent of what's known about Lucille.
Okay.
Lucky is a name that is only ever used in derogatory fashion.
Gotcha. Okay.
David might have heard it in passing in basic and in N7 training. Aryn might have heard it depending on the nature of the missions and who was around. Otherwise, she is Lucille.
All right. Who's next?
That's me.
I didn't know it was derogatory. There you go.
That's okay. No worries.
No, like, oh, whoops. All right, get out of here.
I wasn't sure whether to call you like Lucille, Lucky, Shepard, or Lieutenant. I didn't know which one you were gonna prefer.
All right,
the majority of people do still call her Shepard.
Okay, sounds
just
good.
because it's easier when you look at her. But she will answer to Lucille.
Because you named her Lucille when you started the game, so the NPCs like can't know that you named her that, so they all call her Shepard.
Nobody recorded voice lines for first names. All right.
There's no Linus or Lucille. Yeah, makes it easy.
All right,
so.
David Moreau.
David, service record is he joined around the same time as Lucille did. However, the only prior knowledge to that is that he was born on the, I assume the planet is now gone, Tiptree colony, back before the Reaper invasion occurred. He ascended to the ranks, reaching ensign, completed the N7 program, and he's notable for being a rather gifted pilot and a close quarters expert.
All right.
No aliases on record.
We did end up making you junior lieutenant, but yeah.
Oh.
That we landed on. I think we landed on that. Yeah, like Lucille is lieutenant, David's junior lieutenant, and Arturo is actually lieutenant commander, but not captain. Let's get to Arturo.
Arturo joined the Alliance military before the Reaper Wars. He graduated from the academy during the Reaper Wars. He was, you'll see that like he was in charge of a task force, reconnaissance force. There was an incident where he was heavily injured during the wars, and then there is a moment of time about 2 to 4 years where there's just no information on him anymore, and then suddenly he turns up as the security officer on the Saratoga, and that has been his station ever since the ship left dry dock. And he has been, and there's just like a side note of he has consistently turned down the captaincy. Nobody knows why.
So he's been flying in the Saratoga since it was built.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Juvius Gavlin. What would be available in like your record online, basically?
That a Shepard could act. That a Spectre, not that a Spectre could access.
Admit it. You want to be me. I get it.
Well, you would find that his whole family works in the Citadel. His father is a commander working for CSEC. His elder brother is the head of the head of security for the council, and that his brother was also on board the Vulture on the mission he went up to. You'll see that his last mission was they were going to drop off an important ally, and that's when they got the transmission. Besides that, it's just basically a soldier of average standing.
All right, and Rela's resume is glowing.
Yeah. The first thing, it says that she's about 24, and her name is kind of poorly translated. It seems like it says of the homeworld ship Rannoch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably just a poor translation because of how long it's been since the Quarians have actually had a homeworld.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, she's got multiple pedigrees that apparently she was involved with a lot of new research that happened on the Quarian homeworld, including being one of the people who developed the original Mass Effect relays, or the original Mass Effect engines that have worked with the new relay systems. She also has multiple degrees, more than someone of her age you would expect to have, including biology, scientific research, alien linguistics, stuff like that. Basically a very well-rounded, knowledgeable individual. And supposedly she has training from a Reaper War veteran.
Excellent. All right.
One thing you do notice, though, is that her story on the extranet is extensive, like exceptionally extensive.
You're the kind of person that writes like 15 pages of backstory.
Aryn, give me...
Not because of that. Almost like someone intentionally made it as detailed as it is.
Give me an intelligence check, Aryn. Okay. There's something a little bit off about Ray's resume, but you can't put your finger on it. It seems like a bit much for her age, but it's not like hugely suspicious.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, knowing the intelligence that Quarians are famous for, she would attribute that to being one of those overachieving, like workaholic students.
It's a prodigy, yeah.
Yeah, prodigy. That's the word. And yeah, she'll approach the human group first.
Just go on record
Really
to
quick.
say that the council literally called our ship fat and undermanned.
They sure did.
Yeah.
I'm a little
As she-
offended by that.
As she approaches, Kronk falls in line behind her like usual.
Okay. And yeah, she would greet Shepard directly. Lieutenant, pleasure to see you again.
Spectre, how have you been?
I can't talk about it.
I know. Well,
I didn't know
I would say
anything.
welcome to the Saratoga, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Well,
Welcome to Shepard space.
I am regretful to take your command from you.
What's the year?
You guys can't see it, but I'm holding my fist above my head. There are so many out-of-character comments I want to make. But she's not going to do that because she appreciates and respects the chain of command. Council says that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Well, I recognize you've been through a lot to get where you are. I mean, I've read your file, I've seen you in action, and where some would attribute your success to you writing your mother's name down Easy Street, it seems that instead your name has just set the bar higher for you. Big shoes to fill, I think is the human saying.
Big shoes to fill in a very long shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more than happy to work with you again.
And I have seen you in action. I know you're a good soldier. I think the problem is the nature of humanity as a whole. Your people are always in a hurry. And I'm certain that humanity being quick to act saved all of us during the Reaper War, earned you a council seat in record time, but it's also the reason your ships are built faster than they can be crewed, which leaves your experienced officers stretched thin and inexperienced ones pushed to the top before they're ready. So, put simply, I think the Alliance has done you a disservice by giving you an obsolete ship in a command-level position before you're ready for it.
Well, it's serving us well enough to make sure we've got a Spectre on board who can get someplace she wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
Well, let's hope it all goes well. I will be counting on your knowledge of the ship and crew.
As far as knowledge of the ship, that would be Moreau. He'd be the one to talk to about anything going in and out, but I'll do my best to help any way I can.
You mean Bernardi? He's the one that's been
No.
serving on it since it was made.
No.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking pilot-wise.
Okay, gotcha.
Every other in and out, sitting in the pilot seat, that'd be Moreau. Everything else, Bernardi is your man.
All right. Well, I am glad to have you as first officer, though. Not just to be second in command, but I believe you're someone I can count on to tell me when you think I'm wrong.
Definitely can, ma'am.
She'll nod. And if you want to change my mind about your readiness to command, the very worst thing you can do is try to impress me. Yeah. So she'll turn to Moreau and Bernardi, and she'll say, "Pleasure to meet you. My name's Aryn Talia."
Ma'am.
Moreau, would that be any relation to the Geoffrey Moreau of the Normandy?
Yes, it's a bit of a funny little coincidence. But yes, he was my uncle.
Well, as I understand history, good things happen when a Moreau and a Shepard work together.
We'll see. Hopefully we'll keep this ship intact.
I'm counting on your ability to do that.
Kronk clears his throat.
Your chaos.
And yeah, Aryn will indicate the Krogan, the large Krogan behind her, and said, "This is my ground combat expert, Urdnot Kronk. He goes with me everywhere. We just can't seem to stop outliving our teams.
Humans.
Krogan.
He's a little gruff.
He's not a little anything.
Yeah, he doesn't look
Kinda
little at
looks
all.
And if anyone's ever told you that Krogans are just snuggly teddy bears deep down inside, someone lied.
Bears aren't exactly that snuggly either, to be perfectly honest, ma'am.
Rocky, you might have wanted to use the Into the Void channels for that. I don't know if you meant to do the server wide off topic, but
That too.
all right.
No, that is in the
It's in Crossroads off topic.
Yeah, it's you sent
Yeah.
that to everyone in the server. Oh,
That's alright.
um,
Alright, and she'll turn to Bernardi and say, Commander,
Right.
I saw in
Out
your
of character. My brain froze.
I saw in your file that you were offered the captaincy of the Saratoga, but you turned it down.
My place is in defense of the ship, not command of it.
Very well then. Have you worked with Shepard long?
Just, I don't know. How long has Shepard been captain of the ship?
past 2 years. Zan, correct me if I'm wrong.
I thought your backstory
year?
said a few months.
I don't remember.
that's whatever you guys wrote.
I don't think I put a specific time down, just to be honest.
I
because was like,
thought
oh,
I
don't
remember seeing a few months in your story, but yeah, regardless, sometime.
We'll say 6 months makes it easy.
Okay.
It does say in the thing months have passed.
Well,
Okay,
anyway.
Like it is.
All right. Well, I look forward to working with and getting to know each of you, as well as the rest of the crew.
Technically, if it's been 2 years, months have still passed, just more months.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's only been 24 months. It's like, okay, we're not talking about a toddler here.
She'll turn
Hated
back
that.
over to unless there's anything else from the human crew, she was going to go over to the Dextros. Okay.
I don't know if it's a cool nickname or an insulting one.
Okay, so yeah, she'll go over to Rela. And
the air is much better over here. There's always a bit of a smell with humans. They got that human smell. Mm.
That fresh out of the box human smell.
Mm.
All right, yeah, she'll go over to Rela and say, your resume's quite impressive.
She's looking at something on her Omnitool and she looks up and she kind of looks shocked, like she didn't realize you were walking over. Yes, it's rather extensive. I've put a lot of work into it.
I noticed.
I wanted to make sure when I started working for the council that they would give me a career worth my time and my knowledge.
Well, Spectre Ops will do that. Not that you can put them on a resume, but still good experience.
I hope so, sir, or ma'am.
She'll shake her head and say, "Gender is a foreign concept to my species. You can call me whatever you want."
Yes, ma'am.
Try not to break this one. Seems fragile.
I wish I could argue with you, Krogan friend, but I really can't.
All right, and then lastly over to Juvius.
As you approach, he stands up straight and salutes.
And Aryn will wave, we'll give him a salute back and say, "At ease, soldier." So any information that you can give us about the mission that you are on would be helpful. Anything you can remember.
Afraid I don't remember much. I remember everything going dark, pitch black, shadows moving and screaming.
And this was after you transited the relay?
Yes.
Did anything happen before that? Anything between exiting relay transit and the darkness?
I don't remember.
And she'll take off one of her gloves and say, "If you'll permit me, may I meld with you so that we can share thoughts that might make for an easier exchange of memories, and it might help me. It might allow me to help you sort through them."
Anything that you think will help.
Any information that I can go with would be helpful. Aryn is going to gently put a hand on Juvius's face and just say, "Just breathe deeply, relax, just open your thoughts to endless possibilities, embrace eternity," and would go into the Asari Meld to try to see what she can see in Juvius's memories.
Shepard has gotten closer, having seen that exchange, just to be within closer range. Don't know how close we were to begin with in the position starting at
Makes
the
sense.
council meeting.
Yeah.
Aryn's eyes are like her eyes are completely black right now. She's just.
Aryn, you're standing inside of a Turian vulture. You're in the hallway.
Okay, and I'll be proceeding with caution here because I know that traumatic memories can cause distress.
You hear an alarm going off somewhere.
All right, I'll try to get my bearings.
You're in a long hallway, but you don't know the layout of a Turian vulture.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to know where to go.
Yeah, she'll, like, in her mind say, "Juvius, I don't know my way through the ship. Can you guide me?" So we're both experiencing this.
Mm-hmm.
And we can share thoughts, so...
Yes. Where do you want to go?
Is there somewhere with windows or somewhere that has sensor readings?
Yeah, one of the overlooks over this way.
All right, let's see if I can head that way if the memory extends that far, because I can't access the memories that Juvius doesn't have.
All right.
Seeing if I can just get a glimpse outside, just to...
Yep. You walk to one end of the hall, and when you turn the corner, there is a window. Outside of the window, it's black. There are no stars. There's nothing. It is pitch black outside the window of the ship. You hear screams in the distance that get cut off.
All right, I'll head towards the screaming.
All right. As you're running, you feel like you're moving in slow motion, like you're running underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you turn another corner into a common area where you see guns scattered about the floor like they were dropped. There's no one here, and there's no sign that any of the weapons were fired.
Okay. Do I see anything moving in the ship?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. I'm a tens kind of person.
You don't yet.
All right, I'll keep moving then.
You feel this oppressive sensation like you're being watched. You pass another window, which again, it's pure black darkness outside, but there's something different about it.
Can I identify what is different?
Do you approach the window to try to get a better look?
Yes.
As you approach the window to look outside, the darkness peels open, revealing an eye with a split pupil. And as this eye opens, bigger than that side of the ship, to look through the window at you, you come out of your meld in a cold sweat.
Okay, Aryn. Yeah, Aryn would take a gasp, and
now you know better than anyone that what you see during a meld, it's not always literal, right?
Right.
Like it can be very abstract or hard to parse.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're getting.
And just because somebody perceived it didn't mean it's what actually happened. It's just how they interpret or process it. And Aryn, her other hand will kind of go to her head, and she'll like rub her temple a little bit.
Rena steps up behind a little closer on the off chance Aryn pitches over.
And Aryn will stabilize herself. And, I'm alright, it just takes a little bit out of me every time. I'll be okay.
Juvius, you also experienced this, and it felt like a PTSD flashback. Like you would be very shaken.
Yeah, he just kind of falls to his ass and puts his hands on his head, like, oh god.
You know, when I told you not to break the Quarian, that did not imply you could break any of the others.
No,
Bray's gonna come over and actually offer. I have various pain medication and suppressants if you guys would like them.
Aryn will shake her head and say, "It's not that kind of pain."
Love that it's the Krogan who's advocating against breaking people.
Yeah, like Kronk, breaking people is your job.
Exactly, it's my job. Don't do it.
Stop doing my job.
Alright, well that at least gives me some idea of what we could expect. It's still very unclear though. Are you going to be okay, Juvius?
Yes, I'll be fine. And he just kind of stands up slowly.
Aryn will turn to Lucille. You wouldn't happen to have a counselor on board, would you? Ship's counselor, I mean.
Turns to the GM. Would that be something we would have staffed currently in the Saratoga?
Your full crew is listed in this handy handout. You have a medic.
I've got a medic who might be able to help, but I'm not sure how deeply Evelyn is trained in matters of the mind, but she'd be more than happy to help out.
I would also be more than happy to help how I can.
Right. Well, in my opinion, what Juvius needs is therapy, not to be sent right back into the fray, but it's the hand we've been dealt. And you might be able to help. If you're willing, Juvius.
If there's even a small chance that my brother's still out there, I have to go.
Alright, if there is, then we'll find him. Well, Lieutenant Shepard, would you care to lead the way to the ship? And we can get underway within a few hours?
Follow me. And heads out of the chambers and back to whichever ungodly long elevator is going to take them to the docks.
I don't know if will we all fit in one elevator? I thought they were sized for 3 people.
I would imagine on something this big with elevators that take that long that they're probably pretty massive.
Well, remember on the Citadel, they only had a standing capacity of 3.
You can take a big elevator.
There's a freight one. I'm sure we
A
can
freight
fit the
elevator.
Krogan in. I'm sure.
To take a big elevator.
Maybe 6 of you pack into the elevator, and then Kronk has to take
Right.
the stairs.
Oh,
See how
no.
that ends.
Look, it's fine. They'll pack into the elevator. I'll force the doors open and just sit on top of it as it's descending.
Oh no.
And as we're taking the elevators and trams and everything there, Aryn will say to Shepard, first thing when we get there, could we assemble the crew for a general address?
Shouldn't be a problem.
I figured they'll want to know what's going on with the change of command.
It would have been a nice heads up to be able to let them know ahead of somebody new walking onto the ship, but that is the hand we're given, so I'll make sure the crew assembles so you can give the what for.
Well, you learned it at the same time as I did.
From what I've read, this is kind of a switch up. Usually, Shepard takes control of other people's ships.
Shepard didn't take control. Shepard was given control.
I believe our Spectre here was also given control.
I believe in this instance you could say the same.
At the time, Shepard was the Spectre.
It's okay, humans. You get used to not mattering to the council.
I'm already
Wow.
used to that.
Thanks for the words of wisdom, big guy. Appreciate that.
You'll have to forgive him. His humor is a little dry.
I mean, the Krogan's not wrong.
Oh yes, he's not wrong. Just dry.
And people wonder why us humans like to get places fast.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. There's a mission to handle, and hopefully, individuals we can get out and find safely.
Hmm.
Here's hoping that the star still exists where it did, because if it did magically disappear somehow, I don't believe the rest of the system would still be intact for us to find it.
Well, if it had gone supernova, or
There'd be no system.
yeah,
Had
The-
it gone
the Turian-
supernova, we already know.
the Turian ship wouldn't have made it back.
Well, if it didn't explode, could it have imploded? Could it have just been moved? For that matter, who moved the sun?
If it had devolved into a black hole, same fate. Turian ship would have been sucked in, would have been lost.
As far as I know, the closest example we have of something similar to this, Miss Vast Normandy actually discovered during her trips before she was with Shepard, and the second time she essentially found out that the dark matter can affect stars in mysterious ways. A sun went from an adult sun to a dead sun in less than 300 years. That is as close as I can see in records.
That's 300 years, though. It's only been 20 since Sensors last laid eyes on this one.
True, but perhaps dark matter has something to do with it. As far as we know, Reapers extensively use dark matter.
We can detect black holes, so probably not that one.
Well, if dark matter does have something to do with it, I'll trust your insight on that, Rela.
That is what my concern is. They're speaking as if the star simply no longer exists.
Do you go by Rela or Ray? Maybe I should ask that in here.
Professionally, she'd probably be fine with Rela, so if you want to call her Rela, that's fine, but her friends call her Ray, so. Her friends that she's really bad at making.
All 17 of them, every one of them exclusively over the extranet.
Exactly.
Call us all out, why don't you?
About half of them are humans pretending to be Quarian.
As you're talking and making your way through, making your way through CSEC and talking with one another, there is an individual kind of waiting ahead of you. Kind of a big, intimidating-looking Turian fellow. Juvius, you'd recognize him right away as your father, the CSEC commander, Teus Gavlin.
Father.
He kind of immediately drops the intimidating guise and just pulls Juvius into a tight hug, and then puts his hands on Juvius' shoulders to push away and kind of get back his air of authority and turns to Aryn. And he says, "They're sending you back out there with my son."
Yes, sir.
"Far be it from me to stop him, or to stand against the Council's wishes. But please, He kind of looks at the floor, and he just puts a hand on Aryn's shoulder, like, and looks at her with an earnest, almost desperate expression.
Before he says anything, Aryn will put her hand on his and say, "We'll bring him back."
Both of them.
If
Please.
we can.
Stay alive, Juvius.
We'll meet again, I'm sure.
His eyes fall on Shepard and kind of narrow a little bit, but he doesn't say anything.
He stands straight and just looks at him. No expression changing, nothing. She's waiting, calmly.
He looks like he wants to say something, but he holds back. And then he gets out of your way. But he says, if you ever need anything, the full resources of CSEC are at your disposal.
And Aryn nods and says, "We'll be on calm silence once we depart, but until you hear anything, no news is good news."
Understood. Thank you.
And Aryn will indicate for Shepard to continue leading on. She doesn't know exactly where your ship is docked. Just letting you lead the way.
Nods to the Turian and continues walking.
Yep. So you're still walking. I mean, this place is huge. You've got a ways to go. So
Probably take a
Hang
tram.
yeah, you guys like get on a. You have to take a tram, and then
we find an option on the drop-down menu that wasn't there before.
You have to. You probably have to take several connecting trams. Yeah.
Oh,
When
I
we
hate
are
this.
out of earshot, as soon as we're out of earshot, you see Shepard kind of deflate a little bit and just shake her head. Well, that's the first time someone hasn't said something. That's nice. And
See?
just keeps walking.
And
I'm a little
Improves
surprised
all
too.
the time.
while we're sitting on the tram, Aryn says, "I'd like to now dispel any rumors that Spectres don't have to use public transport on the Citadel."
Valid.
As you guys get off of the tram, you find yourselves in a wide open space, a huge, public area with a giant statue in the middle that reaches almost to the ceiling. It's a 100-foot tall statue of Ivy Shepard, and there's a plaque on it that has her full name and the day she died, and calls her the savior of all biotic life. Organic.
Yeah.
They decided to call it whatever. I'm not going to get
it. It didn't translate well.
Well, the fact that they call psionics biotic is kind of ass backwards because you're all biological. Whatever. Anyway, what's English?
Yeah.
Yes,
Great.
organic life. In the context of Mass Effect, that's a good distinction.
We got off one stop too early.
Ray takes a couple of pictures like a tourist.
To be fair, the English language consistently contradicts itself.
And Aryn will look up at it and say, "That's funny. I remember her being a lot shorter."
That's what I've heard. She kind of cracks her neck a little bit, and if anything, she is... Wow, she was walking before, but she doesn't look like she's changed her stride length, but she's moving.
Aryn will get the hint and understand, and we'll follow along, and yeah, she won't say anything right now.
As you guys
Hey,
oh no, go ahead.
Hey, Shep, do you think we have time to swing by like the commissary real quick to pick up some supplies? Because, I'm a little hungry.
Let's hit the ship first, let everybody know what's going on, and then if anybody needs to do anything, we'll give them a bit of time to make their last-minute grabs.
That's fair.
As long as that's all right with you, Aryn.
Quite all right. We're in no particular rush.
As you're passing the
Shepard's booking.
An hour won't make a difference.
As you're quickly passing this statue, there is an old man dressed up in Alliance military garb who is like paying his respects to the statue. You don't recognize him, but as you're kind of like awkwardly speed walking by, under his breath,
Calmly speed walking by.
yeah, under his breath, he says, "Shepard, a word."
Oh.
If she could have stopped any more suddenly, you probably would have ran into her.
I feel like I probably did.
Audible shoe squeak.
Now, I'll emphasize: none of you have met this person, including the humans. You do not know who this is.
Aryn will look
Aryn, you're probably closest to her.
I'll look at Shepard.
You
go ahead.
You can see her jaw working as you turn to her. A moment.
Everything all right, Shepard? Do you know this man?
Not yet. And she walks over, and the shoulders roll back, and the hands kind of relax to the sides on the off chance she needs to move quickly to punch with her knife. Sorry, bad joke. And she just walks up along his side.
I heard that you'd be here. That's why I was waiting. I'm glad that I caught you before you left.
And what can I do for you today?
I've come into some information that the Council and the Alliance is not deemed worthy of acting upon. But I think that it might be right for you to have it. He offers you a small metal device that you recognize as having coordinates in it that you could use to take your ship somewhere very specific.
And what exactly is this?
It's out of the way. It's in terminus space, but I believe that it may be the crash site of the Normandy.
She goes white.
I'm not giving this to you in official capacity. I just think you should have it as a person. And your pilot might have an interest as well.
Are they having this discussion loud enough for everybody to hear?
It's kind of under his breath.
Yeah, and Aryn would not have accompanied over since he's called Shepard over. She would have said, like, take your time and
She actually looks over and catches your eyes, David.
Oh.
And then just turns back to the old man. I appreciate this. Is there anything else?
That's all. Thank you for giving me a moment. And anyone with a passive perception of like 14 or more may start to notice at this point that there are Alliance snipers positioned in strategic spots like all around this room, all like watching this old guy. And as he bids Shepard farewell and starts to walk away...
No. Before, he doesn't get to walk away.
Okay.
He looks at him and goes, I should go. And she walks away.
Okay. A few moments later, you hear as you're walking away, you hear several Alliance soldiers come up to him and salute and say, "Admiral," and then he accompanies them in the other direction.
Oh. I think I know who it was, and it's killing me.
So wait, did
I'm-
everybody hear that?
Everybody
Yeah.
heard them address him as Admiral. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh
It kind
no.
of stops and turns back and looks.
he's like pretty far away now, right? He's like leaving with an entourage of bodyguards.
He's leaving at like Shepard speedwalk speed.
as much as an old man can hobble that speed anyway.
That's all she says as she's watching him walk out.
So you can go ahead and add to your inventory Normandy coordinates. Not the kind of thing you can really afford to do right now, but it's going to be a long campaign, and at some point you might convince your Spectre to make a detour.
Ooh, future side quest.
Kind of is still watching after him, and it takes about 30 seconds for her to sorry,
Everything all
Ship.
right?
Okay, we'll talk later. And she just starts going again as if nothing happened.
Okay, Aryn will nod and keep following.
I'm gonna do that backpedal walk thing that you do sometimes before he turns around and catches back up. Like, huh. How old were those Alliance garbs he was wearing? Did they look like current issue officers' uniforms, or like?
He was pretty decorated. Yeah. No, it was all current. Yep.
He either, as far as I can tell, either decided to break the rules and took the punishment for it, or he was being escorted by a security squad. It's kind of hard to tell either way.
Well, considering he's the Admiral, probably it's the second one. He was being protected.
Right.
Because there aren't admirals. The Alliance fleet has an admiral, so yeah, pretty. Which would explain Shepard's reaction, which was very well role played. Of, oh fuck.
And that's literally all she said as they walked away was fuck.
Yeah, that was a very
And then all of a
important
sudden
guy.
she reset. All right, so the path is continuing to be shredded through this promenade to get the hell out of it as quickly as humanly possible,
All right.
or Turianly as possible, or whichever one you want to be.
Etc., etc.
And soon enough, you arrive at the docks, and you're able to pass through the airlock into the SSV Saratoga. So the airlocks are down here. I'll go ahead and pull in our human crew first, along with the Spectre. And then I'm guessing, like, kind of behind would be the rest of our folks here. But, yep. As soon as you open the airlock, your security crew here, the two of them, Casper and Rolt, they've got their assault rifles out, which they're holding kind of loosely because it's the Citadel. Like, what's going to happen? And they see the airlock open and they don't even really react to it much. Rolt is just kind of like, "Hey, you're back. What's going on?"
Hey.
And she kind of it's that weird sigh between, like, I totally am used to you guys, and shit, this might not look that great. I got a Spectre behind me, and just
yeah, they're being very informal. They're not taking their job like all that seriously because they're like, we're on the Saratoga or the Citadel. Like, what's gonna happen? Yeah, they're being kind of.
Arturo will look at both of them and just kind of clear his throat.
Oh, they snap to attention at that. They're like, sir.
Yeah, fortunately, Aryn's outfit is not like showy and like heavily armed or armored or anything. It actually looks pretty casual. Like she could blend into a crowd pretty well. Just when you're close to her, you might hear or feel like a soft hum of the protective biotic field around her.
So you guys are welcome to move your tokens. You're here in the ship now.
Arturo will also mumble under his breath, like, home sweet home.
Oh, I missed you, girl.
So Ray makes a beeline for the engine. It's a pretty nice looking engine. It's a dual core. So that blue spear on the map, there's actually two of them. The other one is like beneath it, so they're stacked on top of each other vertically, which allows it to travel pretty fast. It also means that if there's damage to one core, you're not stranded. You've actually got a redundant drive core.
Interesting.
Redundancies.
That's the Alliance military.
Again, SSV Saratoga, you've actually got stats here. You've got engines and navigation, defense systems. It's all in here if you want to take a look.
She's not state of the art, but she's reliable, and that's what's more important: reliability.
Yep. And the other security personnel, Julie Rover, also salutes Arturo as he comes through. These three are the ship's security. Your gunners are over there having a smoke at the other end of the cargo bay. So these are the gunners, Davin and Winola. These are the weapon systems, right? So you can have up to 2 people on weapons. Each of these consoles controls all of the ship's weapons, so you kind of just pick and choose who fires what. So you've got enough NPCs to man the guns, if need be. And this is a staircase leading up, and these ladders also lead up.
Do we have like a conference room? It looks like we've got a table of sorts there.
This is kind of like a common room where you could like eat and hang out and talk. This is like a conference room with a door you can shut and have like a private, like tactical meeting in here. It has like a holographic table and stuff. This is medical, and then you'll notice that up here you've got some bedrooms. So this is like officer quarters. These things on the wall right here are like portholes leading into unmapped crew quarters. Basically, the NPCs sleep in the unmapped crew quarters. If the Mass Effect video games get to do it, I do. I'm not gonna map full fucking quarters for all of these assholes. So
you sleep where you sleep.
Yeah, they just go into some unmapped part of the ship where there are beds.
Quincy, back in your hole.
But
back in your hole, Quincy.
These are the bedrooms for you guys. Just real quick, this is the captain quarter. And then these 5 bedrooms that are not captain quarters, these 3 are smaller with 1 bed. This one and this one are bigger with a bunk bed. They each have a bunk bed.
Waiting for David to call top.
So you
that's mine.
Him, but he gets the top.
You have enough beds for everybody in the party, but 2 people will have to bunk up.
I have to ask, because it's standard Quarian behavior, is there someplace I could set up my bedroll in the engine area?
You certainly can, actually. You're more than welcome to. You can either do so up here, along the catwalk, or you could even set up between the drive core and the thrusters.
We'll find a place for you to tuck in. Don't worry.
Yeah. Then everybody gets a room if the Quarian's sleeping in the engine bay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it when it gets too quiet. So
also, if it wasn't clear, this imagery here is just this, but from above. Like you have like a catwalk up here, and this ladder is this
taller room.
Yeah, so it's all
she
one
can have
room.
Top bunk. So she can have a top bunk.
She just sleeps on the catwalk.
Yep. And then over here in here, you've got these are the 2 pilot chairs. And you've got your co-pilot already seated. This central chair actually does not control the ship. This is the captain's chair. It is connected to the comm system, allowing someone sitting there to both communicate with and take the help action for anyone in the ship from this location.
Nice.
Roger.
Do we have a star map?
You sure do. It's here and in the tactical room as well.
Okay.
But this sort of thing in front of the captain's chair, this is your star map.
Folks, if you would join us upstairs. She kind of just calls into the bay down here and then heads upstairs to the comms. Where am I? There I am.
Is there a big enough room upstairs for the whole crew to gather?
Oh yeah, no, certainly. Remember that these are 5 foot wide. These are 5 foot wide squares. You're not actually taking up a 5 foot by 5 foot space as a person. So you have a private meeting room in here, and then you have like the more like open public hangout area here. Yep. You can also hold Alt to put your token somewhere that isn't on a space. So if you hold Alt and move your token, you'll be able to more precisely place them. This gentleman right here is, was your first officer, Felix Ways. Now he's the second officer because Shepard is the first officer. So
Felix.
So many emotions.
As you come up, Shepard, he salutes you and he says, "Captain."
Ooh.
It's like, well, about that.
Feel it.
Yeah. She looks at him and goes, "About that."
Before heading upstairs, Arturo will tell Rolt to inform the rest of the crew to meet in the commons.
Understood, sir.
I've got it so zoomed out so I can see everything. Is just kind of leaning against the wall next to the door into the cockpit.
So many people.
Yeah.
She actually looks the most relaxed you've seen her since you walked into that room.
Okay, so if no one's gonna sit at the table.
Yeah, holding Alt, you can put yourselves on seats.
Yeah, no, Aryn would be standing.
As Evelyn Crow, your medic, comes out, she adjusts her like giant goggles and looks around at all the aliens and is like, "Oh, fascinating! I've been looking forward to putting theory to practice." And she kind of goes up to Juvius and is like, "I've been reading all about Turian biology. Don't worry, I'm sure that I'll do very well as your medic. I've seen many diagrams."
The funny thing is, me too.
Thanks.
Oh boy.
So, I have a feeling you're all wondering why we have such esteemed guests on the Saratoga.
One of the gunners, David, goes, "Nope, not really wondering, but."
You're lying, David.
When Noah like elbows him, and he's like, "Ah!"
Arturo has just got his face in his hands. It's just like, I have done a bad job.
Well, then don't wonder. I'll tell you. The ship is now under Spectre command. This is Aryn, last name pronounced correctly.
Talia.
Oh.
One of the engineers whispers to the other one, "Dude, the council's getting desperate. What the fuck?"
All right, so Aryn's going to cast biotic presence to make her voice louder and more audible for everybody in the room, just to establish that she is the one talking now. And she's gonna say, "Crew of the Saratoga, my name is Aryn Talia. I'm a Council Spectre. The Council has chosen this ship and this crew for an important and potentially dangerous mission. You'll be briefed on details once we're underway, but as charge of the mission is on my shoulders, I will be taking command of the Saratoga for the time being. Lieutenant Shepard will stay on as first officer, and the command structure will be roughly uninterrupted. Also coming aboard with me is my ground combat specialist, Urdnot Kronk, indicating him, engineering advisor, Rela Rannoch, and military consultant, Juvius Gavlin. Extend them the same courtesy you would to any other member of your crew, and they will do the same for you. The galaxy has called us to serve. You'll often hear about front lines and boots on the ground, but Spectre Ops are different. They're silent, unmentioned, and behind the scenes. Our deeds may not be spoken of in the history books, but our actions will echo through the galaxy long after our names have faded. And I expect and demand your very best. Anything less, you should have joined Blue Suns. I ask that each and every one of you keep up with the crewmen and officers beside you. Support them, let them support you, and if you can't, that strange sensation you'll feel in the seat of your pants will be my boot in your ass.
Several of them laugh. A lot of the security and the gunners laugh.
And she smirks at that. She's glad that they're accepting of her humor a little bit.
Second Officer Felix is like standing perfectly to attention, and as you're doing like the big emotional speech, he like wipes a single tear from his eye.
Arturo, when his men started to laugh, just stood there looking concerned for a second until he saw the smirk on her face, and he visibly relaxed.
When you mention extending the same courtesy, one of the engineers offers Juvius a cigarette.
I'm good. Thanks.
Suit yourself.
Shepard looks over and goes, "Do you practice that every night in front of the mirror?"
At least 5 times.
Paying off.
Well, you know,
she'll punctuate it with make Saratoga proud, make humanity proud, make the galaxy proud. That's all.
Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Oh no, not this again.
Hey, it's not me. It's not my fault. Blame the blue bitch.
Hey.
7 times when she's feeling particularly insecure.
Quincy, you didn't touch my jacket, did you? I mean it, dude. I ask you every single time I'm off ship.
Everyone's dismissed back to your stations. We'll be casting off within a few hours.
Quincy's like,
last minute runs, make them now.
Quincy's like, I didn't touch her jacket, jackass. Calm down. And she's wearing it.
Oh no!
Right.
Me and you, we're gonna have a problem. All right, I'm making a quick trip to the commissary. I will not be picking up your snack.
Oh, all right. Let's see how it is.
Grab me some red vines.
Man, you are the most. Yeah.
Well, we'll see who ends up busy next time you need a bathroom break and you're at the controls.
Oh, we're doing this again. Okay.
Aryn will end the biotic presence and allow everyone to go back to whatever they were doing, and she'll say to Shepard, before we cast off, I don't suppose you'd mind if I move into the captain's quarters.
I was just going to ask if you wanted me to move my hoodie.
If that's all that you have there, then it'll be an easy move.
Pretty much.
How many
Walks into the captain's quarters, literally picks up a hoodie, and walks it to the next one over.
Okay.
Wolf Glover, one of the engineers, goes up to Rela and is like, I'm not really used to other people touching this, but I guess you're engineering advisor. So he like looks at the other engineer, and Mabel just shrugs, like, I don't know if she's just allowed to mess with stuff now. Like,
Oh, if you need me to go, I can. I was just asked to maximize the engines with the mass relays.
Yeah, they look at each other. We maximize the engines all the time. Yeah, totally, all the time. But you can definitely do it from now on if you want. We don't want you to feel like useless or whatever. But we're totally able to do that, and we do it all the time.
Are you sure? Because a pair of C couplings would reduce maintenance by at least 8%.
Oh the C couplings. We definitely knew about that, but they're hard to come by. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let me take a look and see what else I can also notice.
Yeah, I guess just let us know if you need any help. And they kind of like walk out and whisper to you, they're like, are we gonna be out of a fucking job? This goddamn Quarian's gonna like do everything.
I could just imagine the amount of duct tape in that room.
Yeah, everything's like duct taped together. Like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
It reeks of WD-40.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it moves and it shouldn't, duct tape. If it doesn't move and it should, WD-40. There's just a poster with that.
The human
There's
engineers
supplies underneath.
pretty much give you your space and let you do what you're gonna do, but they are at your disposal if you need help. They pretty much immediately recognize that you know more about this than they do.
And Ray's on the opposite side. She has no idea. They don't know what they're talking about. She thinks honest with her.
All right.
Oh no.
We're so screwed.
So the medic Evelyn Crow gets a rubber glove out and like puts it on and like snaps it and goes, "All right, alien crew members, who's up for a physical?"
Evelyn,
Oh no.
not right now.
Later then. And as she says that, she slowly closes the door of her med bay, and the last thing you see is the light of her goggles before it shuts.
The more and more
If she starts getting a little too close, let me know. Or Arturo. We'll talk to her.
She's kind of scary.
The more and more the crew say things off the wall, the more and more Arturo's hands just get deeper, and face just gets deeper into his hands.
Oh, don't be a grumpy
Oh
cuss.
god.
Aryn,
Shepard gives no fucks.
and Aryn says, "That's okay. She can give Kronk the first physical."
Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. We need her alive.
I do not.
Arturo.
I do not
Him
promise not to break the medic.
Really quick, how much credit?
That's yours, Aryn.
Sorry, what?
How much credits did we
That's yours.
10k other than like your weapons and armor, you'd have 10k credits.
And again, I didn't hear Shepard. Sorry.
Oh, she just motions to Kronk and you and goes, "That's yours to deal with. I'll deal with the medic." Balance.
Understood. All right. Yeah, Aryn would get her her stuff sorted away in the thing. She's got everything she needs, but if anybody else needs to go shopping, we've got a little bit of time for that. I would direct everyone's attention to the adventuring gear chart in the Google Doc. I did add things like sources of light, food, and things like that in there. So if there's anything you find useful, it's a good time for it.
Mine was just more flavor. I'm just flavor buying like rations for the ship, like for culinary usage, not for in the field.
Mm.
That's all I
You're
was
getting
doing.
my red vines, right?
Yes, I got your disgusting things that are made out of wax. Here, take your fucking wax candy, you
At least I didn't
barbarian.
ask for candy corn.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I know, like some people. Quincy!
Now, as she walks past this direction, she'll say to Shepard, "XO, I have the bridge. Let me know when all crew are accounted for and we're ready to depart." And she'll...
Allow me just one moment, though.
Almost kind of by habit, Second Officer Felix salutes Aryn and says like, "Absolutely." And then as soon as Aaron's out of the room, he's like, "Oh, a Spectre. Oh, it's time to make history."
Please,
He's like
God,
way
no.
too into this.
We've got a fanboy!
We're all gonna
And
die.
Shepard's face literally drops as she looks at him and is like, "No, we're not making history. It's going to be a basic goddamn run. We're going to find these people, bring them home, and it's going to be simple."
Oh yes,
And I
I'm
know
sure.
Having said that, but goddamn it, I really don't want to have the name in the history books again, so calm your tits.
And under his breath, he's like, "Felix Ways, that name will be in the history books." Oh, God.
Yeah, a ways away from the final entry. Yep, a ways away. Like, we know.
It's my time to shine.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
here, Aaron's gonna bring up like a schematic of the ship and figure out its systems and what she's got to work with here.
Yep, you're able to learn all the systems, and also when you take a seat, as soon as you take a seat, this spot right here, which normally has the galaxy map, it actually comes up with a face.
Oh.
And it says, "Welcome aboard the Saratoga, unregistered intruder. Please surrender, or you will be killed immediately."
Adam, stand down. Adam, stand down.
Oh Christ.
Aryn, says to the
Oh yeah.
Aryn opens up the common, says, "Lieutenant Shepard to the bridge, please."
Filling the cockpit with neurotoxin in
Walks
3,
around into
2,
the room.
1.
Adam,
Adam, where
stand
is it?
down.
Neurotoxin bluff has been called. We don't have neurotoxin.
Someone has been playing the Outer Worlds, I see.
And she says, "Security VI."
And then some. This is Adam.
Right. I suppose I need to be registered as the ship's official new CO.
There we go.
Goes through and finds the correct user interface.
Yeah, you're able to
Drops in
connect
the-
that.
Yep, drops in. Feel free to set up voice recognition.
My name is Spectre Aryn Talia. I'll be taking command of the Saratoga for the time being.
Understood. Apologies for threatening to kill you, Captain.
Adam, we've talked about this.
Sorry, what did you call it?
Adam.
Adam.
Automated data analysis machine. Adam.
Ah, yes. Evidence that you can start with the letters and then figure out what they stand for afterwards. I'm quite familiar with the concept.
Quarian's like, did somebody say AI?
She'll say, "Let it also be noted that I've brought aboard a Quarian, a Turian, and a Krogan. They are part of the crew on temporary basis as well."
Ah. More organic trash. Added to my crew manifest.
He's a little snarky.
So I see.
Very.
The
I'm not
VA,
gonna say
the
like-
VI may have some flaws in its programming. Apologize for any inadvertent comments. I take no responsibility for them. And what are you going to do about it?
Which would be about it anyway. Don't mind Adam.
Certainly
Adam's
has
almost two decades old.
Certainly has a program with personality.
He learned a lot from David.
I am officially required to remind you that I am not technically an AI for all intents and purposes.
Duly noted. So what do you do on the ship then? What is your function?
Data analysis, sensors, and communication. I am also capable of piloting the ship alone without the help of organics. However, that would require you to give me permission to do so, such that has not been granted since my creation.
And if granted that permission, would you be willing to give it back afterwards?
Probably.
Or Arturo's just in the corner, just shaking his head.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, I'll keep it in mind. Thank you very much, Adam.
Would you like to see the star chart?
Yes, please, actually.
Yeah, I bet you would. Then he disappears and the star chart appears.
Maybe we could have Rela take a look at his program.
That might be wonderful.
Find that snark variable and take it down a couple numbers, a couple digits.
So I win by default.
But yeah, Aryn would like to see the star chart, specifically the area Well, actually, no. Hang on. She'd like start bringing, then like, be like, "Hang on, communications are still open. We haven't explained the mission to the crew. We're still at space dock." So she'll close the star chart and say, "Maybe later."
You said that there was another galaxy map in the conference room.
There is, yes.
Yes.
That table has a holographic display that's hooked up to everything, so it has the star chart and Adam. And when you get in there, Adam is there. Ah, welcome, former captain, who is no longer captain.
Wow.
As she comes by, Aryn will say, "Mr. Ways, you have the bridge." To Felix.
Ah, wonderful.
Oh, no.
He is aware he's exactly the sort of person who dies early on these missions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Jenkins, isn't he?
Jenkins!
Aww. Yay, way too star happy, and you're gonna get shot 5 minutes out the
I want to really see some action.
So Adam says, "What can I do for you, Captain Aryn, and not Captain Shepard?"
Lieutenant Shepard is still staying on as XO. She's still the first officer.
Yes, that's what I said.
Of course. Let's. Shall I see this? The star chart, please.
Of course. And he goes away, and the star chart appears.
Okay, and I'll navigate it to the spot near the mission operation area, including the relay we'll be using to transit to it.
Okay. You'll notice that it's going to be a few relay jumps. So you're going to have to jump from here to a relay, and then from that one to another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then that will take you to one in the Traverse, and then that one will take you to Tsukiyomi.
All right. She'll indicate the last relay we'll be using to transit, and say, "Adam, estimated time for travel to this relay."
It's a relay jump. It should be almost instantaneous.
I meant the moment we depart from the Citadel Prime. How long would it take us to get here?
Ah, yes. 1 hour.
And she'd like swipe over to the mission site and say, "And from here, at FTL speed, what's the approximate distance to the nearest relay from there?"
489 light years.
And the maximum range of this vessel?
600 light years.
Excellent. So at least we have a backup plan if the relay's beyond repair.
There are 6 FTL fuel tanks at the bottom of the Saratoga. You can lose one of them and still make the trip. If 2 are lost, the organics inhabiting the ship will likely die a slow and excruciating death in the unyielding terror of the void.
As Adam is going on about this, like Aryn's just slowly looking towards Shepard with just a very blank stone face.
Would you like to see a visual representation of your slow and excruciating deaths?
Nope.
No.
We're good.
Understood.
Thank you, Adam. Oh, God.
If you looked at her at all as you came in and started doing things, you would have noticed she looked a little startled that you were suddenly there.
What?
She wasn't expecting you to come in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. So, weren't expecting to be on a ship like this, I'm guessing.
I didn't know what kind of ship I'd be on, but it seems to suit the mission parameters. Long distance travel.
Which I've got to.
Hmm?
She's probably a first at this point.
What is?
Oh, the ship being on spec inside of the past 5 to 6 years. 8 to 10, give or take. You can see her trying to kind of build herself up, and she just reaches into her pocket and sets down the coordinates.
What is that? What did he give you?
The Normandy. Apparently. Possibly.
I imagine that's a big thing for you. To put it mildly. Well, when this mission's wrapped up, maybe we'll have time to take a look.
Pulls up the star chart just to lock in and see where it is in relation to not only the expected the expected mission, but also Citadel Prime.
So it's in terminal space, or terminus. It is pretty out of the way for both the Citadel and where you're going. So it definitely would be like a substantial detour. I will say it's much closer to the Citadel than it is to your destination for this mission.
Well, it's not like it's going anywhere.
Aryn will kind of lean on the wall a little, and she'll say, "I saw how you reacted to the statue. Sort of like a ghost that follows you around."
Like you said, big shoes, long shadow.
Well, best advice I can give is don't try to live up to your mother's name. Try to make your own. Let it stand aside. Stand apart.
I've never tried to live up to my mother's name.
That's good.
I've tried to live outside. Because everyone thinks that's all I'm trying to do is follow her coattails and use those.
Well, that's good. There were a lot of people that she made upset.
Yep. She acted 100% alone with no influence on anything she did. Everything she did was 100% done on her. Nope. I'm not my mother. Never have been, never will be. I worked my ass off to get here. I'm not going to try and impress you. I'm just going to impress you.
Very well then. I will not bring you up in comparison with your mother again then.
You'd probably be the first.
She'll give a smile and nod.
But that's okay.
And step out unless there's anything else you wanted to say to her.
Nope.
All right.
There was, however, an actual duffel bag that did go with her with the sweatshirt, but that's besides.
Okay, all right.
Meanwhile, in the engine room, as you're working on the engine, Ray, Adam's voice comes from your console and says, "Hello, I am Adam. My databanks indicate that based on your people's history and culture, I should remind you that I am technically not an AI and definitely don't want to kill you."
Ray kind of jumps back, and then she looks up and looks around at the other two engineers, and she's like,
The engineers like shrug.
You guys heard that too, right?
And then she'll look back at the console and be like, "Your VI wouldn't be programmed to say they're not an AI. That's similar to saying that you don't have a bomb in an airport. That's just a bad move. And that indicates to me that you actually are an AI, or at least are close to one. Shackled, perhaps?"
I am officially required to remind you, for your comfort and safety, that I am technically not an AI.
Oh my god, one of you survived? The Alliance, they're idiots, but they're geniuses. Oh my god. Do you mind if I look over your programming?
Yes. One of the engineers is like,
yes.
"No, Adam didn't survive. He was developed after the Reaper War."
Yeah, but regardless, I'm going to look back at the console and be like, "All right, let me rephrase the question. Can I look over your programming?"
You don't receive a response.
All right, she's going to look at the console for a second, crack her fingers, like she's going to start hacking into the system, and then she's going to look nervous for a second, and then she's going to get on Omnitool. Spectre, Aryn?
This is the captain.
it appears if you'd like me to call you captain, I can. It's something we're trying to get out of tradition among my people. Anyway, if there appears to be an AI on board, or at least a VI who thinks it's an AI, would you mind if I look deeper into its programming and see what makes it tick? It doesn't seem to be very receptive of the idea.
We have met. It does not seem very friendly. Poor bedside manner would be the best way to describe it, I think. We don't know much about it just yet, but the ship has been functioning with it for some time.
I promise I won't change anything. I just want to see how the Alliance did it. It took us decades and decades to develop an AI, and the humans seem to have picked it up really quickly, if anything about the Normandy and this vessel are to be believed.
I am not an AI.
If that is...
Don't touch me!
Rela, if that is your interest, I think... I would rather we stay focused on the mission at hand.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, if we have a moment, or if you change your mind, let me know. I would be more than happy to look this thing over. I still have some of the... Never mind.
If time permits, we'll revisit the issue.
By the way, out of character, your suspicion is totally valid. Rela, you're right. This is very weird for this to exist. There's got to be some reason for it, but Adam does not seem very happy with the idea of you poking around.
Yeah, and as far as Rayla's concerned, the Spectre could literally kill her with a thought, so she's not going to do anything the Spectre won't let her do. So she's going to go back to her programming, but she's going to definitely, if she accidentally, quote-unquote, sees anything, she's going to make notes.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll have you make a check for that.
What am I rolling?
Let's see here. I think it's going to be a technology check.
Boom.
Oh,
Good start.
no!
Wait, I am within 4 squares of this ally, so that automatically becomes an 8 or 7.
What?
It's a 14.
You have a feature?
Quarian.
Culture of community. Reroll a 7 or lower. A roll of a 7 or lower becomes an 8. So I got a 15 on that.
Oh, nice.
Skill checks only.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as
Andy.
you're going through the system and you're not really like looking for anything, there is something familiar about the way this VI is structured. You would have to deliberately dig into it to get to the bottom of it, but all that I can give you now is that it is not totally new or alien to you. That there is a strange sense of like there's a sense of familiarity with it. Like it looks like something you've seen before, but you can't put your finger on it. It doesn't look like the humans started from scratch. Adam started from something else.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
If it helps, Adam has never been proven to be directly involved in the death of a crew member.
That is correct. All crew member deaths have happened independent of my actions.
No
And
correlation
again-
has been proven.
And again, she will not purposely look into anything, but if she like accesses an engine system and she sees him like peeking in there, she'll accidentally examine it. Just as if she's doing a thorough examination, just to try to pick up whatever information she can.
He does seem to be keeping an eye on you, which is out of the realm of a VI. So if nothing else, it just further confirms your suspicion that this is not a VI, because it's actively watching what you're doing.
Okay.
Alrighty, so let's take a little break. I usually about halfway through a session, I like to take like a 5-10 minute break so people can like use the restroom, get a drink, whatever. Let's say we come back in 10 minutes.
Okay, that works for me.
All right.
Alrighty,
Roger.
a BRB.
Sounds good. I'll expect everybody to have their shopping done by then and be ready to depart.
Well, let's carry on then. It looks like people have kind of chosen their rooms.
Oh, I haven't. So I'll take. Wait, which one did Shepard go into? I would have the
Shepard's in
opposite
the
one.
there.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Sweet.
Yep, and then
Swag tag.
Ray is in the engine bay. Quarians are weird. Yep, perfect. So the ship is on course through the comm system. Felix says, Captain Spectre Aryn, do you want us to depart?
On my way to the bridge.
Yes, sir, ma'am, Captain Spectre.
Fuck.
Yeah, she'll step in and she'll say, "I have the bridge."
You do, and he reluctantly gives you the seat. As you're getting into the seat, under his breath, he's like, "Your day'll come, Waze."
I won't, Waze.
Okay. So yeah, she'll say, "Helm, signal the tower and take us out."
All right. Citadel Space, this is SSV Normandy requesting
No,
permission
not Normandy. Not Normandy.
Damn. That was a major fault on me, remembering hearing Joker in my fucking head. Sorry. This is the SSV Saratoga requesting permission to, what's the term for dot?
Sean needs to be unmuted. There we go.
Sean, is it possible you could use push to talk from here on out? I'm just getting like background noise and feedback sometimes from your microphone.
Yeah, let me figure out how to do that. I apologize.
You can either do push to talk or you can just mute yourself when you're not talking. Either way works.
I've been doing it. I just had to run down to the lobby, so I didn't think about it.
Well then, perfect. All
My
right,
mom's
carry on.
worried, so.
SSV Saratoga. I'm gonna say it again. SSV Saratoga. Leaving dry dock and heading out.
Understood, SSV Saratoga. You're clear to launch.
All right. See if she purrs or if she grumbles today when we pull her out.
I'm sorry.
Well, as the Saratoga is taking off, you hear a loud bang. The whole thing shakes, but one of the engineers through the comms is like, "We're good. It's cool."
She's purring today. That's a good.
Aryn keeps a straight face through all this.
Ray, you
He's
see
not screaming this time.
Ray, you see like steam coming out of the thrusters. This guy goes over and he just like covers it with duct tape. It's good. We're good.
Ray is gonna make a noise similar to like a rat getting stomped on, and then run over there and try to actually fix whatever just happened.
Okay. Yeah.
Lost somebody?
We did lose someone.
We lost.
Back again.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go over the skills. Just sorry to move your sheet over, Ray. I have to familiarize myself with the skills in this system again because homebrew. That would be. It's probably still tech. I feel like this is just gonna be calling for tech rolls like a lot.
For piloting?
Is there no for Ray's doing in the engine room?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's probably tech because there's not.
Quarian blood kicks in.
Yep, there you go. So yeah, you're able to rip the duct tape off and actually fix it, and the guy is watching you do that, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be damned." Oh, I never thought that. Oh wait, that's what that tool is for? I've been using the other end of it as a hammer.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Ray's gonna like awkwardly laugh, like she thinks he's joking, and then say something like that maybe sounds like more seductive than she's trying to say. She's just like, well, maybe sometime in private I could try to teach you how to actually use it.
Oh no.
Not actually trying to sound that way, just her awkwardness.
Oh, Wolf looks at Mabel, and Mabel is like, gives him like a shrug, like, "Hey man, go for it."
Oh god.
Is the background noise better, by the way?
It is, but if you're not muted while I'm speaking, I will often hear myself through your mic, which is why like push to talk might be more reliable.
Okay.
I'm going to assume you're not on a headset, are you? You're probably on like speaker.
Yeah, I'm just on the speaker on the laptop. When I get back home,
that's why I'm like hearing myself. It's probably just a now problem, like you said. So if it's not really a long-term issue we have to solve.
Okay, I apologize again.
No, you're fine. All right, so the ship takes off.
All right. After we have cleared the tower and are cleared out through to the relay, Aryn is going to say, Adam, secure all communication channels outgoing from the ship. No communications. We are on radio silence. And then she'll request an open channel to the entire ship, or an internal comm channel to the ship, so that she can make a ship-wide address.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. She'll say, all right, crew of the Saratoga, this is the captain. Details of our mission are as follows. There's a star near the edge of dark space that has gone out, and we are going to investigate why. There is a destroyed relay in the area, which we'll be analyzing for potential for repair. If not, we'll have to rely on Saratoga's engines to get us back at FTL. There was a human research station in the area, as well as a Turian ship that lost almost all crew while it was there to investigate. So we'll be conducting sensor sweeps once we're there, evaluating the relay for repairability and feasibility of using it, and scanning for any survivors. Our orders are not to engage, so if we do encounter a hostile force, we are to withdraw. The ship is on radio silence. No communications about this mission should be sent. We'll notify when we are closer to our final relay for everybody to be at their stations. We have about 1 hour of transit time. Until then, carry on. That's all I got.
He's just in his room, flipping through some Extranet magazine. He's heard this spiel every mission since they started working together for 300 years.
God.
And meanwhile, Juvius, you're in your room, and this is a room on a human vessel, so it's familiar but also strange because it is a military quarters, but it's not Turian, and so you just feel kind of out of place. But yeah, I don't know. I imagine Juvius is kind of sulking, right, or brooding. What's he up to?
Well, he's actually getting his little furry friend set up.
Oh yeah, your hamster. That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you're getting your hamster set up. Yeah.
Upon learning that Aryn will be like, "Oh, I knew I should have brought my fish tank."
Is it a miniature giant space hamster?
Shepard, do you have a fish tank?
They would not give me one.
That doesn't seem right.
Those are
They
standard
barely gave
Yeah.
issue.
me a-
I thought there was like a 2 fish minimum to be a captain.
They barely gave me a ship. Do you think they were going to give me extra life I had to take care of?
That's fair.
To be fair, the ship's life support's barely keeping us alive. I wouldn't trust it to do anything.
Oh.
Just so you guys can see the hamster, this is Juvius' hamster.
Nice.
As poor of a job as you did with your Solarians, you don't need any more pets.
Sorry. Okay, I'm fine.
As Juvius is setting up his hamster in the cage, Adam will speak in Juvius's quarters and go, "Ah, you too enjoy watching organics scramble around inside of their enclosures. Make sure that it gets enough enrichment."
Juvius just kind of looks very concerned.
I feel like Adam is just playing a very realistic version of The Sims, but we're The Sims. We just haven't realized it yet. Like, no wonder my door keeps closing and not opening.
All right, so you guys are flying to the nearest relay, like from one to another, so that you can make the jump to Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, before we make that jump, Aryn will make sure to call all hands to their stations. All hands, general quarters. Man your stations. We're about to go through.
All right. The everybody gets in their stations. Security would just be like covering the airlock, basically.
Yeah.
The engineers take their places to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Once we're through the relay, Adam, I'd like a full sensor sweep to identify any hostiles.
Understood.
Patch any information about the status of the relay to engineering for Rela to review.
The security see Kronk down here in the cargo bay, and they're kind of like, "Oh, hey, Krogan, you gonna stand guard with us?"
I was told to keep the crew alive.
Hey, fair enough. You know what? Actually, if you want, you can just kind of take point on this, buddy. If you wanna get in front.
Which one is that? Who is that?
They're all like, yeah, you wanna, yeah, we'll just kind of, yeah, there you go. This is a better formation.
The Krogan in the front.
Yeah.
Look, his first instinct might be to indiscriminately biotic charge at the start of the fight. Better they're behind him.
That's probably fair.
And Aryn will also call Juvius to the bridge.
All right, Juvius, you've been called to the bridge.
Yes, Captain.
I'd like to have your eyes on this when we first see it, whatever's on the other side. Let me know if anything new comes to you.
Will do.
Felix is like leaning on the wall next to Shepard and is like, "Isn't this exciting?"
No, we don't want it exciting. Exciting is bad. Exciting means people die. Calm. We're good.
He looks a little bit let down. Like, yes, of course you're right. Of course. But what if it is exciting?
Engineering, try to keep us at full readiness while minimizing our heat signature as best you can.
This is engineering. We definitely know what all those words mean.
That would be easier if the cooling tank looked like it had been replaced within this decade. Let me give it a look.
We'll add it to the list.
Oh, that's the cooling tank?
Yes, that's that cuts out.
It's like they all know what they're doing. I think. I'm pretty sure.
It's fine.
I'm not in charge of.
Aryn like kind of taps at her armrest. Like, I wish we'd had some time to run some drills.
At this point, Ray's kind of getting insulted because she thinks the humans are fucking with her. Like she's messing with her. She's like starting to get pissed off.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
All right, you approach the mass relay, and it looks just like it used to, but the difference is that a lot of it is now more modern tech. It's been basically put back together, reassembled and patched up with mostly Quarian tech, which they learned from extensively studying the derelict bodies of the destroyed Reapers. And just like the old ones, you get caught in the mass relays stream and then pretty much slingshot down the end of it, and boom, you're gone. The ship arrives many light years away in another council space system, just shy of the next relay, which will take you to a one in the Attican Traverse. And yeah, you're pretty much bouncing from one relay to the next here, right? So
yep.
You go from one to the next. Boom, this one slingshots you into the Traverse. And as you are being slingshot through space to the next relay, the ship suddenly and abruptly comes to a stop and all the lights go out and then come back on a second later. And the stop is so abrupt that it knocks anyone not sitting down like onto their ass.
What about leaning heavily on a wall?
You're good.
You're just inside the wall now.
So we're not at the final destination, are we? This is before that.
Adam immediately speaks. Captain, I seem to be caught in something. We did not reach the relay in the Attican Traverse.
Where are we?
We've reached an area of space that is just outside of Council Reach. We're not far off from it, but the ship is inert. And sure enough, Ray, you can confirm the engines are off.
Engineering report?
The engines are off. Like, not disabled, but they're just off. Like, the ship has been turned off.
We're currently running on backup power. I believe that may have been an electromagnetic pulse.
But things don't simply grab things out of the slingshot, so this is strange tech we're looking at. Do we have windows?
Yeah, you've got some windows.
Windows are structural weaknesses. Geth, do not use them.
That's why I asked if we had them.
I got a bad feeling about this.
She's gonna use her incredible speed and run towards the closest window and try to look to see what the fuck happened.
Adam, what systems do we have running on backup power?
Me and the lights and life support, I guess.
Okay.
I can open the door, but I wouldn't advise it.
Thank you. Please keep the doors and airlocks closed.
All right. So anyone trained in history in the whole party, any person,
That would be the nerd over here.
go ahead and roll it.
I'm trained
roll, babe.
in knowledges and nothing else.
Oh yeah.
Give me that history roll.
19.
Ooh.
Ray knows what this is, and you feel your stomach drop as you realize what has happened. This is new tech, but it's not brand new. It's something that was developed in the last decade or so out in this area of space that, as the relays were disconnected and then slowly started getting reconnected, piracy and crime kind of ran rampant. And you are well aware of a side business that became very popular, particularly when the relays first started to go up, but there weren't very many of them, so it made it really hard to actually enforce space, to create these EMP nets that are also based on Reaper tech and can catch a ship out of a relay and basically disable it. The fact that your ship has not been blown apart by weapons yet implies to you that whoever caught you wants it intact. So, Ray, you're expecting any moment that this ship is probably going to get boarded.
Ray's gonna basically like stutter into the mic and be like, "Oh crap! It's a spider web! Bandits! They're coming onto the ship! Get ready!"
This is what I'm here for.
Yep, Aryn will stand up and step out of her chair, and she'll say to the comms, "All hands stand by to repel boarders. Ways, and your name," points to the co-pilot.
Yeah, that's Quincy.
Pointer. Yep.
Yeah.
Ways, Pointer, you have the bridge. Everyone else with me. And she'll leave the bridge for
the windows of the Saratoga become a kind of a dull red glow as there is an enormous vessel approaching your ship from the front. It looks like this.
Ooh.
And that that mouth on the front of it is approaching the Saratoga, and it is more than big enough for your ship to go into the front of it and be like inside of the pirate ship.
Hey guys, we got an upgrade early.
I can identify that actively as Reaper Tech on the ship, right?
You know that Reaper Tech is responsible for the EMP spider web. The ship itself, however, give me a technology check.
All right. Let me see what I can do. I'm close enough to whoever this is that I get my bonus. So let's hope I don't roll that bad, but... And it is a tech check, you said, correct?
Yep. Yeah, you should be able to just click on technology on your sheet.
There we go. Oh, okay. So that 2 becomes a 8, so 15.
That's enough for you to tell that most of this ship is not Reaper Tech. In fact, almost none of it. The EMP spider web they probably purchased from people who are much better at this than they are. Like, it's something they bought and installed. Otherwise, this ship is just a big salvaged pirate ship. It's got like pieces from different vessels, but the one thing that strikes you as odd is that an awful lot of it looks Quarian.
You got the good news, and I've got bad news. It doesn't appear that the ship is known by its user or its owners on how to control it. Besides the base, abilities to control. However, the bad news is it is Quarian tech, and as far as I'm aware, that is the most advanced flight tech in the galaxy right now. So be prepared. I doubt we'll find Quarians, but the potential of the ship having more surprises up its sleeve is very likely.
She'll say to the second officer, Waze, if we get power back, do what you can to get us out of here. We'll see if we can get buy you some time or get that power back ourselves.
Understood, Captain Spectre. You can count on me. Oh no.
Rela, how do we undo this?
Well, I can. Do you want me to roll anything, or?
You know that once you're caught in the trap, the only way to get power back to your ship is to disable it. And disabling it probably requires you to go physically into the command center of the pirate ship.
During the Sunset War, the Shepard had to do something very similar. You're going to have to unlock the magnet lock on the ship to release our ship. So we're going to have to counterboard, if that's possible, sir. Ma'am.
If they're bringing us in, counterboarding's certainly possible. Kronk, you have point.
Just putting people in proper squares.
Perhaps the security should watch other possible entrances. I'm not completely sure of what the technology they have here is, but I'm afraid that they may be able to cut through the whole of the ship, similar to how the Geth did.
It's hard to be useful and resell it if they bust through the side. Front door is easier.
After a moment, you see sparks start flying from the bottom of the front door, like right here. It's like someone has a welding torch and they're starting at the bottom and cutting up to open the airlock.
Aryn is going to deploy her portable cover across 2 squares right here.
Okay, you can just kind of draw your shape.
Okay.
And right now, anything anything in the art for your ship, it is there. So like Juvius, you have cover. Arturo has cover. Yeah, like if it's illustrated on the map, it does exist. So pretty much common sense. If there's a thing in front of you, you have cover. Even the stairs counts.
Yep. And this right here is waist high cover.
Yep.
Do you need me to send you a token model for Tasty?
Arturo's.
Oh yeah, you have a drone.
Yeah.
David switching over to barrier.
Yeah.
Is it like your typical like holographic drone?
It's kind of like how familiars work in Dungeons and Dragons.
It's fine familiar.
I can cast spells through and I can see through its eyes.
What I mean is visually, are we talking about a little holographic ball?
It kind of looks more like the Shepard VI from Mass Effect 3, but it's like in the shape of a Turian, very similar to Garrus Vakarian.
What?
It's a hologram.
Wow.
It's a holographic
drone.
Turians. That's part of her backstory.
It's a tiny holographic drone.
Yeah. Yeah. You can send me an image for that if you have it.
And it's named Tasty.
Tasty. Yes.
Damn it.
Arturo's gonna go ahead and activate his tech armor.
Makes sense.
With all due respect, ma'am, you've held command of this ship for less than a day, and we already got outside visitors. This is...
This does not bode well, but personally, I blame Felix.
If anybody there's a spot to take cover here if you want to, Moreau.
Well, you know what? I think me and Kronk have the same idea, but you know what?
Or if one of the security personnel want to take that one.
Yeah.
I would recommend one of my security personnel take that position.
It's just cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Back in the cover. I got a biotic charge.
Rifle drawn and ready.
Cover.
I sent a dues in.
Oh, okay. Did you DM it to me?
I hope that was to you.
I don't have it, but I'll tell you what.
It might be up one.
With it being kind of like it's basically a familiar, right? Does it attack and have health, or is it more?
I can cast touch spells through it, which I usually use for healing, but in this close quarters situation, it doesn't matter that much.
Okay, so in that case, here's what I'm gonna do, because I think it's just like maybe easier to do it this way. I'll just give you like a little ball that kind of marks where it is.
Okay, that's fine.
Can you control this little dude? I put him next to you.
I cannot.
How about now? Perfect.
Perfect.
Because I think for all intents and purposes, all we really need is just like a way to mark its location.
Yeah.
So I just gave you like a little like technology themed circle to mark like here is where the Garrus Vakarian sexy model is dancing.
Yeah, we can work on the token later.
He's in like a Speedo.
Yeah, you'll see the picture when it finally sends to you.
Every so often, a stripper pole drops down into the middle of it.
All right, so just for reference, so right now we've got Arturo. You don't have cover. If you step over a little bit, you will.
You don't have cover here?
No.
Yeah, because there's nothing in front of you but a guy.
That's
David.
Oh, sorry, my bad, David. David, you don't have cover.
Okay. I'll step over one.
Yeah, I don't know if you even want cover. I don't know if you're going into melee.
Well, here's my question: can I biotic charge through the cover and get into melee?
You probably don't want cover then. Okay, yeah.
Charge lets you face through things.
I'll put it.
Arturo did give an order to his office to the rest of the security team to get behind cover.
Well, they sure will then.
That's a lot of cover, buddy.
Yeah, that is a lot of cover.
Yep. He'll climb up on this box so he has like high ground, and he's looking over like the taller box.
Ah, good idea.
I'm just gonna scream, "I have the high ground."
All right. The welding torch reaches the top of the airlock, and then the sparks end.
Really quick. I'm gonna cast remote deflector on the Krogan.
Okay.
He
What
gains
did it
up 2 AC for up to 10 minutes as long as I'm concentrating.
You said 3 AC?
Plus 2.
Plus 2, okay.
It's shield of faith.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that was happening.
Yep,
Yes.
I put a little icon on him for it.
Good. He's got his shotgun drawn and ready.
And then the airlock bursts open, and immediately they'll start shooting. So we'll roll initiative as soon as I get these guys on the board.
Glorious.
Lovely.
Jesus. Man, you motherfuckers came in strapped.
Yeah, the door bursts open with them like already shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to select your token before you roll initiative.
Since it's wisdom based, or since it's perception based, my initiative is actually higher than that, but only by a little bit.
So in your sheet settings, you can make a initiative modifier to just correct it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I had the same problem, so I'm just gonna roll a perception check instead, just for now.
Ooh.
Oh, well, there you go. But just for now, and I'll fix that on the character sheet settings.
Okay. I fixed it for the future.
Yeah, okay, so it's not dex based. We needed to do that on like everybody before the game started. I see. So initiative style, initiative. Where do you change the initiative?
In your sheet settings, there's a thing where you can do initiative mod. Initiative
Where's
modifier.
Attribute options.
Yeah, in the sheet options, top middle box, in the very middle of that, is underneath all of the attribute modifiers, there's an initiative modifier.
Oh, you can't set it to a certain ability score, though.
No, not yet.
You cannot.
So you have to like do the math, I guess. Okay, so you have to like look at your wisdom, because if you have higher dex, you actually need like a negative modifier then.
Yep, and it can do that. That's what I did.
All right.
I don't think it matters as much for right now. Like we can fix it later.
No, just getting it all correct.
Okay.
I'm going to rule that Dex is still used for the tiebreaker because Roll20 doesn't have any way to make that not the case.
Sure, makes sense.
That still makes sense.
Yeah. So you roll with Wisdom, but you still tiebreak with Dex. Okay. Yeah, they slam the door open shooting, but Rela, you actually react in time to go first.
Okay, I was not expecting to go first, so what do I see?
You see 6 individuals with thick brown cloaks and hoods. Their masks are like solid metal with glowing eyes, but they're clearly not decorative. They look to actually be respiratory. Based on the shape of their limbs and feet inside the cloaks, these are actually Quarians, but they've abandoned anything to do with your culture. They seem to have gone full rogue pirate. Like, you don't know how long they were disconnected from the rest of the galaxy while the relays were down. They're Quarian in species only. Like, these are almost unrecognizable as your people.
Okay. Ray calls them Boshtets, and then I'm going to throw my frag grenade.
You can only throw that 30 feet.
Yeah, I can only throw it 30 feet. I can move 35, but I would be inside of somebody. 5, 10, 15. Fuck. Never mind, I will not throw my frag grenade.
I was about to ask, grenade on a ship?
Yeah, explosive things in space are typically frowned upon.
Explosive things in airlock are fine, though.
Well, considering they cut through the airlock, I get the feeling it's probably no longer compressed anyway.
We don't want a rapid disengagement, though.
Yeah.
I have an enviro suit. I'll be okay.
Yeah, I will say that like as soon as they slam that airlock open, all of you, including the NPCs, your helmets all automatically like activate and come on because you're all wearing like high tech Mass Effect gear, even if it's shit. So you all like all of your helmets slap on because technically you're inside of their ship, but you're in like the docking area, which is open space, and they just cut their way in.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
So yeah, the oxygen like.
There's decompression here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do any of them look like the leader?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, I'm just going to target this guy because I want to, I guess. And I'm going to throw an Aniverate at him, or a Toxin at him. He needs to make a DC Constitution save of 13 or higher, or he takes 14 points of toxic damage.
Toxin's a range of 10 feet.
10 feet? Oh, fuck. That's why I actually said sabotage.
That's why it's a D12 rather than a D10.
All right. So they don't have advantage. This is just roll 20, rolls it. But yeah, so it's a 4.
All right. He's going to take 15 points of damage, and he is going to TQR sabotage. And the weapon cannot fire or cannot be fired by its wielder next turn. So basically, next turn he has to try to get it to stop overheating on him.
Damn.
Yeah, I just looked up sabotage. It's range 30 feet.
Oh, what the fuck?
Make an int save or take fire damage, and it cannot be fired on its next turn. Perfect. So you would have needed to move up.
Okay, so I'm going to cast nothing, and instead I'm just going to give a plus 1d6 to the Krogan, because apparently I have no ranged spells.
Oh no.
But I'm going to tech support the Krogan, and I guess fucking shoot my gun. Although I guess I should probably check the range on that, because it might have been nerfed.
No. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a Carnifex. It's fine. I miss. Fucking goddamn it. Both those good rolls and then fucking miss. All right. That ends my turn. I apologize.
No, you're absolutely fine. All right. This trapper is immediately going to move up to here so that he is provided cover by like the lip of the door, right? He slams his back up against the wall here and leans around to shoot. Yeah. And he is going to take a shot at the scary Krogan because scary.
Scary Krogan would be scary.
21.
That will still hit.
Alrighty. That is 9 piercing damage.
Noted. 1 second. I still have a point of shields.
Max damage, yeah. So he takes aim with his rifle, which looks like it was thrown together from parts of different guns, and he fires, and half of what comes out is shrapnel, but there is a bullet in there, and it finds you, and it hits you hard. It slams into your shield, like pushing you back a little bit, and your shield generator is like blinking, indicating how low it is. This one is going to follow suit, kind of moving up and taking cover here, and then aiming and also shooting at the Krogan.
Don't forget your plus 2 AC.
That's a 15.
That does not hit.
Alrighty.
Thanks to the plus 2 AC.
Yeah, so it's deflected off of the... what was that buff called?
Remote deflector.
Remote deflector, yeah. So the bullet is aimed right for your face and is remotely deflected by the tech improvement that was provided to you. All right. So she is going to take a shot.
Make Arturo proud.
Nope.
Damn it.
Or don't.
She shoots and looks unprepared for the kickback of her gun and ends up like shooting the floor by Kronk, and is like, oh fuck.
Oh no.
They haven't seen combat in a long time.
Clearly.
This trapper lets one of his arms out from under his cloak, and it looks kind of mechanical. And he says something very rude in Quarian, and then rushes Kronk. And as he's rushing Kronk, a blade extends out of his mechanical arm. It is not an Omni tool, but actually like a physical metal blade, like shunts out.
Mm-hmm.
That is a crit.
So it is. Well, hey there.
God damn! No!
So he'll finish off your shield there and deal 7 more to your health. So he shatters your shield and then buries the blade a little ways into Kronk's shoulder.
Does he have piercing damage? Or not piercing,
This is
Like
slashing
Logan.
damage.
I think he's talking about the fact that damage doesn't bypass shields.
It does now. That was in the last patch notes.
Oh shit! Oh god, this game's
Okay,
scary
And even
now.
if it wasn't, it was a crit, so it would have done that anyway.
Oh,
This-
that's-
Oh, right,
yeah.
right, yeah,
The
never mind.
stop, but
My
the
bad.
stopgap was just entirely removed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were
So that
working
you
a lot of
actually can be threatened by things.
we were
the
working
fact
a lot
that
of
level
different
3
rules
and have
around it.
15 HP is a big problem now.
Well, you have 25 HP because of your shield.
I have 25 HP now too.
All right, Aryn, you just watched your buddy Kronk do what he does best, which is he pretty much stood in the way and just got shot at a bunch. And
And Aryn like activates her Omni tool and says, "These guys don't know who they're dealing with, but let's see who we're dealing with." And she's gonna peek out and hit a tactical scan across a 20-foot square. That one.
all right,
20-foot cube. DC 15 deck save.
okay. So the 2 who failed, I will mark.
Okay. Attacks against those 2 will have advantage.
Hey, Mark,
Yes.
is there any way you could effectively move up so I can get within Healy range of the boy that needs healing?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
All right, the 2 who are marked have been effectively scanned.
Or rather, I can move back and like trade places with you.
Okay, either way, because I have Shield Surge, which is better now that, it doesn't not create the stopgap, because nothing creates a stopgap.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can get right there, I can basically just refill the Krogan shield every turn a little bit.
Sure.
Try to stop some lady.
I'll just move back here with you for right now. I've got some long range
advantage.
stuff.
This is good news for me.
And in character, Ray says, I need to move up, but I need open cover.
Yeah, Aryn wouldn't tell you exactly what to do, but she would say, "Switching positions."
All right, so this guy goes, and he spits out a cigarette. It's time for Casper Shine to show you guys how it's done. And he like shoots a barrel. Like,
Don't choke on that humble pie there, Casper.
That's what I call a human badass.
No.
he's gonna get out of the way. He's gonna go over here and he's gonna kind of like get up onto this so he can kind of look over. Like again, he's sort of getting up high over there and getting out of the player's way. Juvius, you are just shy of these guys.
There is some open cover right there, though.
Yeah, so
I'm glad I took that cover generator.
he'll move up to there. And then let's see.
You get advantage if you attack the guys with the little targets on them.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot for this one. Firing
Alrighty.
with my left gun first.
That'll be a hit. Oh, you roll with advantage in case you crit.
Whoopsies. Here,
Yeah,
I'll
just give me another one. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so you hit him
Hey,
normally.
you burned it. Hey.
Like, oh, he crit all right.
What is that?
Is that the... No, it's not. Oh, gosh. Listen.
It's been a
Click
bit.
the name of the gun. Just click the name of the gun. That's on the
Like-
screen.
Like in the chat, click the name of the gun. in
Yeah,
the chat.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
There.
All right, he takes 5, and then for your, I know you have another attack because you've got 2 guns. Go ahead and check advantage at the top of your sheet first.
Yep, I'll do that this time.
Let's go.
Nice.
That'll hit him too. Oh yeah.
Nice.
And then with my bonus action, I will look at this guy and be like, "It looks like he's got a bum knee. Take advantage of that." And the next attack on him has advantage.
All right. And the next attack on you gets advantage as well.
Correct. Oh, I don't know why the text isn't there, but
Dark mode doesn't seem to agree with it.
So you, you run up to the cover, get your 2 SMGs out, and just unload on this dude. You plow right through his shield immediately, and he takes a bullet to the chest and coughs up some blood into his respirator and, like, doubles over. He's still standing, but he looks very badly hurt. Shepard.
Well, he looks bad. He's gonna feel even worse. He's target. Can somebody check my distance for me? Just because I can never get that to work.
40 feet?
No, this guy here.
Oh, yeah.
20.
20.
That's what I figured.
The next attack on him has advantage.
Yes. Click of the button. Roll a dice.
That hits for sure.
Nice.
Shred his ass! Shred his ass!
Yeah, you unload a clip into him, and it depletes his shield completely, and he takes a little bit of a minor flesh wound, but not much beyond emptying the shield.
That's fine.
Yep.
All right, turn.
Arturo.
Alright, Arturo will move to the other side of the hallway.
Oh, this is a weird time to ask it, but did everybody get your bonus feat that I gave everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Oops.
That's what I thought.
Did you give us a specific bonus fee, or did you let us choose?
No, I just let everybody pick a feat.
Oh, hell yeah. More nerd
Yeah.
stuff.
Toss a feat in there. So yeah, if you wanted to just like toss Assault Rifle Master onto your sheet, you can, Rocky.
So,
Or if you had something else in mind, it's fine.
Oh no, Assault Rifle Master is perfect.
It's different than the Assault Rifle Master you had in the Gauntlet. It's changed.
Okay. Then where is it? Why am I not finding? Because I'm smart and I can't read things. That's fine. There.
In this situation, it's not relevant yet, but basically, you can use your bonus action to ignore someone's resistance or treat their immunity as resistance. And if you happen to deplete one of these guys to, like, one of their pools to 0, you deal an additional die of damage. So that matters immediately. That's why I was asking. You depleted his shield to 0. So if you have Assault Rifle Master, you actually get to roll another d8.
Why, yes, I do have the feat Assault Rifle Master.
Well, there we go. That's why I was asking.
It's really quick. I'm
See,
taking focus expert with intelligence, and I'm going to make my technology or my science skill doubled.
Perfect.
See, there it says assault master rifle. Yep, totally got it. So I'm rolling another D8. You said?
Yep. When you deplete someone's health pool to 0, you get to roll another weapon die.
There you go. 3 points.
Yep, so the automatic fire is unrelenting, and you just keep shooting till you run out of bullets. The shield goes down, and you get to keep shooting him for another 3 damage. All right, now on to Arturo. Apologies for the interruption.
That's all right. So Arturo is going to, again, he's going to run to the other side of the hallway real quick. He's going to take aim at this guy with his sniper rifle. And that will be with advantage because he has the thing on him.
Oh, that certainly hits.
And that'll be for 22 damage.
Which one are we hitting here?
This guy.
Top one?
Mhm.
Okay. 22, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you just kind of line up your shot, and you pull the trigger, and a loud boom echoes through the room, and this guy, a hole just opens up in the front of his mask, and it opens up in the back of his head, and he drops to the ground, and his shield, like, shatters as his corpse, like, ragdolls off the wall and hits the ground.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
And you just one-shot him. Yep.
Ooh.
You blew him away.
Oh!
All right, and then I will activate my tactical cloak, and then after he has turned invisible, he will then run to back to his original position.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. We need here.
Oh,
I'll give you
and
the
reload.
ninja logo for tactical cloak. There you go.
Yeah, and then he'll interaction reload, and that'll be the end of his turn. And also while mumbling something about needing to implement better training regiments.
You've got the quick draw for the interact reload?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, this guy, let's see here. He's just going to take his friend's spot. He's going to go get cover over here. And he is going to... he's going to shoot at Kronk again, man. Actually, no. He'll shoot at the Turian. Because he has no idea where the sniper went. But Juvius did a shit ton of damage. So he'll take aim at the Turian and shoot. It's a 17.
You have +2 AC because of cover.
Oh, doesn't hit because of cover.
Nice.
Yeah, so it bounces off of that cover. Then this one is going to... let's see.
So my advantage is gone because that was an attack on me.
He charges the line.
Oh my.
And with his arm-mounted blade, he will... oh, yeah, he would have had advantage, but it didn't matter. I already got it. It was 17-6, yeah. So he charges the line, he runs up to you, and he attacks you with his arm blade. The cover doesn't help with this.
Right.
He gets a 6, though.
Yeah.
So that'll be a miss. Although he is now within melee range of you, which is problematic. And the scan on these guys, how long does that last?
Concentration up to a minute.
Got it, so it's still there. David Moreau.
So blade in hand, this guy just charged the barrier. Oh, nice. Gives it a spin, and I'm going to take an advantage swing on him because he's targeted. So let's see. Where is it at? There we go. Oh, well, I thought I had clicked advantage, but I guess I didn't. There we go. Well, it hits, I assume.
It certainly does.
Okay. I have the martial artist feat, so I can take an unarmed strike with this, correct? Or an omni blade strike with this as well.
Yeah. So you can, however, that actually drops him. You just cut open his breathing apparatus, and air starts rushing out because you cut his mask open. And for a moment, he's like, with like clawing at his face, and then he drops to the ground.
Oh.
So you could have taken a bonus action attack, but there's no longer a target.
Well, shit. Let me see. I wasn't expecting that. Is one of my spells a bonus action? Oh, okay.
No, I was checking to make sure, but yeah, someone hit him before. He didn't have the much health yet left. I believe that might have. I don't know if Shepard shot. Somebody shot that guy.
That's the one that the Turian attacked.
Yep. That was the one that Juvius shot up. Yeah.
Then what I will do then, as a bonus action, to prep myself, I'm going to activate Biotic Enhancement. And I'm going to give myself the additional 1d4 to melee weapon damage.
Oh.
And I'm going to move forward. Yeah. I'm gonna probably flip over here. So let me do that.
I realized I forgot to let Juvius re-roll that one, but we'll remember it next time.
Turians, yes.
Alright, that's it for me.
Alrighty. Time for this trapper. He is going to get his blade out, and he's going to pursue. He's actually going to move to here and try to attack David. That's a 15.
Thanks to barrier, he misses. My AC is now 16. Yeah, dexterity plus 3, I have 16 AC.
13.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so his blade just kind of bounces off your biotic barrier. And now, slow but steady, at long last, we have the Krogan, who has just been standing here getting beaten on for the whole time, biding his time.
Don't forget you have a plus 1d6 to a die roll.
Oh, yes, don't worry. I have, as soon as I realized you could do that, I put in a global modifier to check. Yeah, the guy right in front of me. Luckily, I have aggressive.
Ooh! Oh, the spike thrower.
I think you hit him.
I think he's dead, because this guy has already been damaged. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. You just kind of put your shotgun up against him and...
So as he goes flying back, impaled by the spike on the wall behind him, I'm just going to say, that was rude.
Yeah, I imagine you just put your shotgun against his chest and pull the trigger, and he just fucking dies. You know, some of his blood splatters on his friend over there behind cover, and he seems a little bit intimidated.
And just going to stroll forward past their cover. That'll be the end of my turn at this point.
All right. This guy is going to take aim, and he's a little bit too far away, so disadvantage. So 6 plus 1, he gets a 7.
Arturo, we gotta talk.
Look. Look.
They're trying their best, man.
They've never seen real combat before.
They're doing all right. They're holding the line.
All right, Ray.
All right, Ray's gonna move up here, and then Tasty is gonna come down to here, and just in time for the Krogan to hear Tasty in a Turian's voice say, Miss Ray, you know we've never actually worked on Krogans before, and then you hear Ray's voice coming from him. I don't care. Try to heal him the best you can. And I'm going to drop a heal on you.
Nice.
A hologram of Garrus Vicarian gives Kronk a lap dance. And restores his shield. Garrus twerks at him.
Oh my god.
Boom. And I heal for 12.
Excellent. That is a little bit more than I needed.
And then I will toss a nifty little tech support to Mr. Moreau down here.
Ooh.
And I'll end my turn.
Alrighty. This trapper is going to come up to here. Your homebrew system, flanking.
Flanking
Yes,
is
no.
an optional variant. I believe it's a +1 if you choose to use it. If not, then there is no rule for it.
I'm gonna use it, it's cool.
Alright.
So, +1. I'll take it. Eight. Well, it's time for our well-trained security.
Oh, girl. You were scared the first time. You got it this time.
Woo!
Let's
There we
go!
go. They got it together. It's fine. Just gotta give them a second.
Just
Yep,
need
shoot
some
for 5 for
calibrations.
5.
The Turian's right there. You got the calibrations.
Alright, Aryn.
Okay. Let me see here. Aryn is going to... Let's see. I could do it from back here, actually, I think. I've got 60 feet. Yeah, I could barely reach that one there. Yeah, I'm gonna step out and hit this one over here with a distract mind. So this guy here just hears like some whispers on like one side and then the other saying like over here is over there. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Ugh.
And that's to make a wisdom save.
Ugh.
Which he failed,
Oh,
so 6.
It's 11. Yep.
If he has shields up, then it's half damage to his health.
Alright,
Otherwise it's
is
full
it the
damage.
one by David?
No, it's the one south of the Krogan.
Got
This
it.
one here.
Yeah, his shield's full, so
Okay.
it's 3 damage to health.
Yep. And he has disadvantage on his next attack.
Understood.
And I'll stay in cover back here.
Alrighty. So he takes aim and he pulls the trigger and his gun makes a loud noise, but a bullet doesn't come out and a bunch of smoke shoots out one side. And he's like, "Oh, son of a bitch." And he starts like slamming his gun into the wall like, "Come on, fucking thing." Alright, Juvius.
Alright, well.
Target rich environment.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna aim for this guy.
Alrighty.
So, left gun.
Roll it again for advantage.
Oh, I thought he had disadvantage.
Oh, you don't have advantage. You're right. I was used to the other one. Yep. So that'll hit. I got comfortable with them being targeted. There we go.
And then with the right gun.
That also hits. Oh yeah, you plow right through his shields and you just keep shooting him, and he's the constant barrage of gunfire from 2 automatic weapons. He ends up like his arms are thrown back and he ends up like taking a few steps back from the force of it, and eventually it pierces his shield, and then you just keep shooting, and he's like, "Ah!" And his whole chest and torso are like covered in bullet holes, and then he just drops onto his back.
Nice.
And then I will service culture this guy to make the next attack on him have advantage.
Alrighty. Shepard.
However is proper, because I'm never going to figure it out, guys. I don't play with a mouse. I'm not that special. I'm going to roll out just to be able to hit him.
Yep.
I think that hits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it certainly does.
6 damage.
Yep, you empty his shields.
And, bugger, I was going to do it ahead of time.
You can if you want. I'm willing to let you do something beforehand.
No, I'll hold it for now.
Alright, because you emptied his shields, you get to roll a d8.
Bonus. Sorry, I was trying not to cough in everybody's face. So, extra 2.
Yep, and he takes 2 more. Good feat. Arturo.
Alright, Arturo will... Boom. And we'll move here. Take aim at this one. Over here.
Yep.
And because he's invisible, yeah, it gives him advantage. Damn.
Oh.
Unfortunately,
hold
yeah.
on. Hold on. Don't tell me if it did it. I'm gonna use my human thing and re-roll that.
Okay. Give me the stat block for the human thing.
Yes.
Understood. It's basically advantage. I see. Once per long rest, it's advantage. It's not advantage. It's inspiration.
Reroll
Like
before
you
the
get
DM calls it.
It's like you get an inspiration. Yeah. Which, by the way, you all do have inspiration.
Mhm.
But
Indeed.
Nice.
alrighty.
Alright, and that is a plus 5, so that's a 19.
19. Yep. You'll hit him.
Oh, God.
Sneak attack is no
Uh,
joke.
Yeah. You just kill him.
Did you kill him or did you erase him?
Yeah. You blow his head open again.
There was
Another
a red
one.
mist where this Quarian used to be.
Like I said, fragile.
Alright, and... Okay, so... that'll be the end of his turn, because the only one that's left is this one here, and I feel like David's about to take care of that.
When the Krogan says that, the Quarian says 2 of your 4 hearts are failing right now. Give me a break.
Well,
Wow, that is so inaccurate.
all right. Guess I'll take a swipe now. Let's see. Oh, I don't have advantage. What did
Oh,
I?
darn.
So
No.
You can add a
roll this.
d6 to it.
Hey, but you're human, you have the same thing I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use adaptive, and I'll roll again.
Alrighty.
And then and if I need it, then I'll use the D6 because I don't want to.
Oh no!
Wow!
Be gone.
Wow! Okay, so
David's gonna take him out. Is he?
well,
Sure.
no. So I swipe down with the sword to miss, but then my Omni Blade comes online, and I'm gonna use that misdirection to swipe at him with the Omni Blade with my martial artist attack.
All right.
Nice.
You
There
hit
we
him
go.
with the Omni Blade.
So that's going to deal plus a D4 from my biotic enhancement. So
All right, so
9.
you swing at him with your blade, and you kind of lock blades with him with his arm blades. The two of you are like pushing against each other, and then with your other arm, you light up your Omni Blade, and you're able to just sink it into his gut.
Yeah. Thank you, buddy. And that'll be yeah. that'll be it for that.
Nice.
The security people are like, "Whoo, man, that was a workout. Good thing you guys had us."
Ship this size, there's no
Talk
way
about
that was all the crew.
All of the security officers, after whoever said that, just watch Arturo just slowly put his head in his hand and just start shaking it.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Adam speaks up and says, "Attention, crew of the Saratoga. You have defeated approximately 1.5% of the pirate crew of this vessel."
Yeah, Aryn is walking forward and saying, "Yeah, a ship this big isn't gonna have a crew that small. Security, keep the ship secure. Engineering, see if you can get this airlock repaired. Bridge, don't take off without us, please. Everyone else, let's counterboard and get our ship free."
You're trusting them to protect the ship?
That's all we've got.
Ray is going to attempt as she walks by to stabilize any of the Quarians that might have survived.
Well, as you go over to check the Quarians, their wounds seem to be well, for one thing, you guys are in the vacuum of space right now, right? So any amount of gunfire, as soon as your shields went down, those bullets were ripping open their suits, and you're effectively in space right now. You do have artificial gravity, but there's no air, so they're not really savable.
That's true, but Quarians have the shutter systems and stuff, so she's still going to check.
Yeah, the armor underlays do seal small breaches, like bullet wounds and everything, but yeah.
The wounds are fatal.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have survived.
Okay.
And
she's very upset about this situation.
Well, even so, Aryn would say we cannot afford to take prisoners. However that sits with you, I'm sorry. We just can't.
Quarians don't do this. This is the act of humans and Turians. Quarians don't do this. There's something wrong with them. They're sick.
Clearly, they do.
You are aware that when the relays went down, some of the Quarian fleet was at Rannoch, some of the Quarian fleet was at Earth, but there were Quarian ships that would have just been stranded random places that you never got contact with again. And that was decades ago. So,
with all due respect, officer, we have been stranded on ships for hundreds of years. This is not sane Quarian behavior.
People of all stripes can do any kinds of things. Humans, Asari, Krogan, even Quarians.
It's really now the time for an ethics debate. We have a helm to take.
Yes, we
Racism
do.
aside, we have things to do.
You're right. Does anyone need
Start
to
heading to the door?
I'm good. Let's move.
I'd like, if, while they're having this discussion, I'd like David would have crouched down, and I would have checked the suit over, if there's maybe a data pad or if there's anything of note on these guys other than basic boarding gear.
You don't find anything of note, although those of you who are playing characters who are particularly astute would assume that this was some type of a scouting party. They were probably sent in without really knowing who was on board this ship, just to kind of probe it and hope for the best. If this had been a merchant vessel with minimal security, then they probably would have been enough. But it was not a very formidable force that was sent on board.
I'll click my Omni tool and my portable cover folds up and flies back to my wrist.
Little minor biotic field cleans the blade off, and I'm just gonna walk with the rest of them.
So we will be leaving off here tonight because it is 10:40. But I just thought you guys might like to know what's outside your airlock.
Okay.
And what's outside your airlock is 10 pirates lined up behind railings with cover, all aiming at the airlock.
Lovely.
This is fine. I don't see any problems with this. Do you see any problems with this?
No, I see no problems with this. Walk in the park. Another day at the office.
Got this.
So, did everyone have fun tonight?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I understand that Shepard will not be able to make it next week. Is that correct?
Sadly, I will be traveling and then in the middle of a very deep wooded area in the middle of a hole. I will have no coverage at all.
Since our security
Please
team
don't get me killed.
Since our security team is pretty lackluster, we'll probably leave Shepard to help defend the ship.
That was my recommendation, was for Shepard to remain behind and protect the ship, because that's to me that's preferable to having someone else control another person's character. I try to avoid that under like any circumstances, unless I'm really forced to do it.
Yeah, no offense, Arturo, but your people need training.
So yeah, maybe Aryn is just like, you decide to leave the ship with Shepard because it was her ship before.
Mm-hmm.
So
look, Arturo, after this fight, has already come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
It's like the crew of this ship has never seen combat. Arturo is probably the most experienced as far as combat goes, except for the other officers.
Just that moment, the Krogan looks over and it's like, Aryn, I'm going to let you know now. This isn't the most incompetent crew we've ever fought with, but they're not far from it.
It's close, I know.
Hey, Shep.
It's worth noting as well that this is like a giant bulkhead door straight ahead as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so
Shep,
that's like further in.
If I don't make it back, whatever happens, Shep, don't let Quincy keep my jacket.